Okay, Garcia gets set. He looks in. The 1-2 pitch to Flores. There's a drive deep left field. That thing's got a chance. It's at the wall. Gone! A 2-run homer. Wilmer Flores, and the Giants lead it 3-1. I had to play that.
Welcome to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger, Ryan Smith, Dan Coccimilgio, live from Petco Park in Southern California, in San Diego, California, to be exact. The Giants beat the Padres. Welcome to the post-game party. I am Larry Krueger. He is Ryan Smith. This is Dan Coccimilgio, and that was Dan Coccimilgio as well on the play-by-play. Man, guys, that was macho, huh? Carlos Rodon throwing, 98 miles an hour, just blowing it by Alfaro there at the end on his 98th pitch. He's throwing 99 miles an hour with the punch out. He goes the distance. Carlos Rodon says, you know what? I am the stopper here. And that was either a very loud this things are going to turn around from here, or that was a hell of an audition for a late July trade involving Carlos Rodon. But anyway you slice it, good things tonight in San Diego.
Absolutely. I mean, he retired 20 in a row, then let up that walk to Voit, and then it was like, oh, no, please.
Right.
No problem. Just a little 98, 99. I just love how it seems. Even though we talked a little bit about maybe his shoulder arm situation, maybe, fatiguing, it seems like the guy gets stronger as the game goes on. Sometimes his velo goes up, come like the 5th, 6th inning. And that just was, you're right. That was macho. He said, hey, Logan Webb, I saw what you did and you killed it out there. You went 8 innings, allowed 1 run. Well, we didn't get that win. Today, he made sure we closed the door, and Flores getting that hit. It just seemed like there was some excitement in the Giants dugout for the first time in a while. And, yeah, I mean, don't want to overreact, but that felt like something on national TV watching it on the Fox broadcast.
Yeah, 112 pitches for Rodon. That was the 112th pitch. It was high 90s, 79 strikes. He was in the zone all night. 9 innings, 3 hits, only gave up the 1 earned run. The only Padre run was the fielder's choice in the second, and that was it. 1 run, it was earned. He walked 2. He struck out 12. Carlos Rodon lowers the ERA to 2.70. He outduels Yu Darvish, and the Giants once again did not hit. I mean, they did get 7 hits. The Padres were held to 3, but not. The Giants are not swinging the bats. But man, you heard the call right there from Danny. Wilmer Flores, bottom 8 with Jock Peterson aboard in a 1-1 ball game, powered 1 out to left. And that was the difference, and Rodon made it stand up. So Giants get a much, much needed win. An emotional day, I'm sure, in their clubhouse because they DFA'd a veteran, a longstanding veteran, Jake McGee. I mean, it's one thing to have a parade, guys, of these guys who are up and down, but it's another thing when you're cutting loose a guy who's got, a baseball card, as they say, and a track record. And, you had the feeling watching him pitch in the last game that maybe we were seeing the end of Jake McGee because he had struggled. There's a lot of pressure on Farhan and on Gabe Kapler to get this thing turned around somehow, some way. I tweeted out, what good is, rotating mediocre relievers going to do to help you score 5 runs? But they also activated Luis Gonzalez. He was back in there tonight.
And you know what? That was the difference. I mean, it's crazy to say, but honestly, guy had a double, guy had a huge hit early on. And Belt, we got to talk about Belt. Looks like he got injured. But man, he had a rough day. I mean, he should have caught that liner. A year ago, he would have shuffled his feet and not gone backhand. He would have caught that liner. Also, the single from Villar with Belt on set. I mean, I don't know. It's just like maybe score on that. I don't know. Too much to ask.
Yeah, that was a tough one. From where I was sitting, it looked like it was going to be tough because Belt didn't get a great jump, was thinking it might get caught, and it was like, read it well off the bat. But
now, Danny, where are you? You're at the Omni?
No, I'm not at the Omni. I wasn't going to pay that crazy. The rates were like $500-$600 a night this week. I was just like, I'm a little bit.
You're right next door to a little place called the Jomny. It's similar. It's just
a little generic version of the Omni.
It's
No, we're up a little bit of ways, but we're in the gas lamp district, and we're just outside.
Are you in a hotel? Are you in a motel?
No, we're in a hotel.
Burnt out? You're in a hotel?
We're in a hotel, yeah.
Hotel,
yeah. Just not the upper area. We had the Marriott booked in 2020, and then they, of course, canceled all the games. So back then the rates were, $175 a night. Now $500 a night. Forget it. I may be have some money to spend, but I'm not an idiot. You're going to spend $500 for just to sleep. So as it is, it's almost I think I'm paying a little over $200 a night. For right now. So
and was yesterday kind of the day where you dropped the bag on the tickets? Because I saw how close you were to Villar on that home run that you tweeted out, which was also
I was real close. I was 10 rows behind the plate, or not behind the plate, but on third base side. Had really good seats, but I was really frustrated because all these stupid Padre fans, they get up in the middle of the game and they stand in front of you, and it's like I went to the usher. I said, "Hey, how about wait until these guys till the half inning's up?" But these guys are up and down, up and down. Couldn't even see half the game because people were standing right in front of me.
Oh, I know, and it's like your play-by-play. Like, imagine if that was blocked.
Why don't you start throwing some hands down there and getting some respect?
Some haymakers or something? Yeah. I'm telling you.
Throw some real money around there. Realmoney.com fists,
Yeah. I'll tell you, tonight
show them what NorCal's all about, Danny.
Why don't you
go down there and start talking? I'll say this: the last out of this game sounded like a Giant home game.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, we were fired up, man. There's a lot of Giants fans out there. In fact, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to some of them. I'll wait about 10 minutes. I told them we're coming on at 7:30. Recruited some new fans to subscribe to our channel. And,
wow, you're doing this grassroots, one fan at a time. You're out there recruiting.
One fan at a time recruiting. That's how we grow it. So we're having fun though, man. What a game though. I mean, Rodon just what balls? I mean, just guy that just says changes got to be made. Something's got to happen. Goes out, puts his money where his mouth is, so to speak, and says, "Hey, get on my back. You can't hit. Give me 2 runs. That'll be enough." This guy, complete game. Romo texted me in the I believe it was top of the 8th after Rodon finished 7th. He says, "You send Rodon out there for the 8th?" I said, "Definitely." And then I texted him back.
So you guys are communicating outside of the chat.
Outside the chat, yeah.
Look at you, man.
I got fans all over the place. You don't know
Danny.
About this,
Danny is just unbelievable. I mean, boots on the ground, outside the chat, Romo discussion. Mark Graves right here says Danny's staying at the Jam. So Mark has yet to mute you. That could be forthcoming. But you know what? This you get the mic set up too. You look like you're on the right level. You got the hotel. Maybe the Spectravision's already kind of looking through the options for the night. I mean, you're just breaking it down.
Man, I got my ice cream.
Maybe go fill up that bucket with some ice. There's usually ice at the end of the hall.
Where'd you order? Did you order some salt and straw?
No, I got some. I just stopped to grab some ice cream at CVS. Just walked by, but I was gonna.
Oh, so you're bringing it back to the room. In CVS ice cream back to the room?
Yeah. Where's the ice cream, babe?
I love this. I love this comment.
Oh, look at that.
Not to be over dramatic, but if Rodon asked me to kill someone, I wouldn't think twice.
Hey, I'm telling you, here's my take on Rodon is ride him as long as you can up to the trade deadline. If the Giants are back in within a game or back in the playoff hunt where they're one of the 3 wild card teams, then maybe you ride them till the end. But if they're where they're at, if they're sitting 3 back in the the wild card, I trade him and get a boatload of great prospects and turn this thing around, because I was looking at
Dan's proposing a trade. Hold on, I'll be right
thinking,
back. Dan's proposing a trade, ladies and gentlemen.
No trade. No trade. I'm just thinking, what do we have? We have VR that is up on the team, right? And Bart hasn't really shown much. But
wait, one sec, Dan, because we'll also wait it out till Larry's back. Hey, Totes, let me know if I have too much reverb. I lowered it to 75%. It's now at 50. So let me know if it's too loud. I don't know, compared to the other guys. Just let me know in the chat. All right. Cook.
So I'm just thinking, we don't have anybody on the team that we homegrown produce except the old guys, Crawford and Belt. And I guess that's it, right? Crawford, Belt, Rogers. And Duvall and stuff, but position players, we don't have anybody that's producing. And you look at all these other teams that are bringing up their prospects, and they're really got some good prospects. I mean, this team has to either trade for really good prospects or develop the ones they draft, and hopefully that's happening. I mean, you can only hope that these guys are going to come up and produce, because otherwise, I mean, this is a team that looks really, really old. It's kind of interesting, too, don't you think, Rye, that Longoria, who we've been kind of on, LaStella we've been on, McGee, we kind of like, hey, if we're not going to pitch him, DFA him. All these guys are kind of like phantomly disappearing, on the IL. And I'm wondering if they're now Belt's gone out today again. Hopefully he's not going to be on the IL again. But Longoria and LaStella both somehow just magically end up on the IL when it doesn't appear they're that injured. I mean, all of a sudden Longoria's got an oblique. I'm sorry. Hey, you got a little side ache? Okay, you're on the 10-day IL. VR's, which I love. I mean, I hope they just tell VR, look, relax, you're here. We want to see what you can do for the rest of the year. Don't put any pressure on yourself. You're not going down in a week. That's what needs to be told to VR, because he's playing pretty good over there at third. He looks pretty good at third. And, I mean, we'll see what he does at the plate. But, gosh, he got that one last night for his first big league homer, and that was awesome.
So are you just recording? Because I want to know a little bit about the inside baseball. Are you kind of like? Are you doing like a little call for a lot of these at bats, or kind of just when your gut is you get the spidey sense?
Just a few, just a few.
I can't believe you happened to get both of those yabos.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it. I don't know. It was at the point of the game, top of the 8th, 1 out, 1 on, and Flores. I'm just thinking, I didn't expect him to hit a home run, but I was just hoping for something, kind of a knock. And I thought, hey, if we get something, we'll put it on. And that one, I think I couldn't tell because I'm holding the phone. Did the camera follow the flight of the ball, or I couldn't tell. I'm kind of looking at the ball.
You couldn't tell if it was going to go out.
Well, I thought it had a pretty good shot, but I didn't follow it with my, I was watching with my eyes and holding my phone. So I don't know if my phone was tracking the ball or if it was. I
was in a very similar spot Friday night at the wedding I was at. I was just filming a few things, and I couldn't quite tell if I was half looking, half filming.
Yeah. So. Toad's still saying you're too loud. Much reverb on your mic.
No, I think I'm good.
Oh, you think you're good? Yeah. Well, hey, maybe maybe these guys are on. I met a guy named Brady from Auburn. He lives in LA now.
No,
it wasn't Tom, but no. Brady said he'd subscribe. So shout out. Another guy, I can't remember his name, from Napa. He's down here. And I met Irvin and Stephanie from Chino, California. Actually, I used to live in Chino. Pretty amazing. Chino,
Did
California.
you write their names down on a piece of paper? Because you looked like your notes right there.
Yeah, I had to. I put it in my.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can't remember these things unless I write them down. So shout out to Irvin.
I'm Larry.
And Stephanie from Chino.
That's Ryan. I'm just want to let you so you don't have to write our names down.
Yeah,
just call Larry, and that's Ryan up there.
Yeah,
okay,
Larry
good.
He's the man. It's the Krueg show, and he's Larry Krueger. So I'm just a peon that they let on every now and then.
Well, I liked your call of the Villar bomb. Do we have that? Can we play that?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let's hear Danny with the Villar bomb. This is yesterday.
Give me about.
This sounds like almost sounds like it's like David Villar's uncle Dan Coccimilgio.
I mean, he basically is, right? At this point.
I mean, it's awesome. I'm waiting till you hear this little call. This is a little doozy.
You know what? I'll even, just because it's on Twitter. Get a little plug for Dan's Twitter. I'll share the screen. Give me 1 second. All right. Chrome tab, and here we go. All right, you guys can all see that.
Here we go. Last night.
There it goes!
See, this is. I thought you were going to say something personal to him.
I almost said it to Larry. I said VR, Larry, not Villar.
Oh wow! Look at that, dude. You're doing numbers. Look at that. That's 1,700 views.
1,700 views of VR's home run.
Really?
Yeah. Look at Danny. Danny's like, what? I might have to I might have to look into another condo. I may have to upgrade my. I'm like, honey, we're going to the Omni. Oh no,
we're getting out of this.
We're getting out of this S-hole. We're gonna stay in the Omni. Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. What was that moment like, Danny? First of all, let me just say this. I think of all the yards in baseball, to me, going to San Diego has got to be one of the best, right? Because there's so many Giants fans on vacation down there. Then you mix in the Gas Lamp, which is an awesome little, party neighborhood, basically. And it's like it's like a block party that goes on every night. It's crazy how many restaurants and how many clubs and places to go, and I mean there's just all kinds of. I mean, it would be a phenomenal. That's a good time in the Gas Lamp right now. Padres win, Padres lose. I get the feeling like it don't matter that much. Like people are just down there having a good old time,
grand old time.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere. The fans are nice. It's not like LA where you got to worry about, fist fights breaking loose every few moments. This is a really, really nice ballpark. And, if I wasn't a big time Giants fan and, going to school down here in San Diego, I probably would be a Padre fan just because I like what they're doing. I really do. I'm kind of envious that they've got guys like Tatis and Machado and Cronenworth and Myers and Hosmer, and then they've got Darvish and
they got a squad, man. They got a team that's fun to watch. They got guys. Yeah, I agree with you.
And I'm really kind of like, dang, I've been thinking, what is it that they're so far advanced over us? And then I'm looking at Arizona coming up, and they've got these young outfielders, and that doesn't even include the guy that'll probably be up. What's his name? You know him, Larry.
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, Corbin. Yeah, he's supposed to be a stud. He's like the third prospect in all of baseball. I mean, these guys are developing outfielders. They've got 6 or 7 homegrown outfielders. Who's the last homegrown outfielder that made our club? I mean, Ramos.
It's not only do they have homegrown guys. If you look at the Padres lineup today, Brent Rooker. Rooker is a good-looking young hitter. You got him out of Minnesota system. They trade for guys. Luke Voigt, obviously, he's got some power. Yeah. He came from the Yankees. I mean, they don't necessarily draft and develop every single guy. Kim, they signed him from the international market. I mean, they developed a few of these guys for sure, but they've also invested in guys, in trades, for guys. So, that's what it's going to take. I mean, what did you think of the moves of the day for the? By the way, congratulations, Nick Martinez has become a YouTube member of the Krueg Show. Nick, welcome aboard, Nick Martinez. We appreciate you, and all you got to do is click join on YouTube, and you can be a regular member of the Krueg Show, and you get some exclusive content that we don't put out for everybody. We put out just for team members. So Nick, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you supporting the channel.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the box score last night, and Nick, didn't you pitch against us last night?
Yeah, exactly. He pitched well last night. Yeah, so today we said, you know what, come aboard as a member. What did you guys think of the What did you think of the McGee move? They DFA'd Jake McGee.
Not surprised.
That was not surprising to you, Danny. I mean, It was he had not pitched well. There's no doubt, but I mean, in a way, it plays like Jake McGee's replacing Jake McGee is going to make this team take off. I hate shuffling mediocre relievers when you can't score 5 runs. And it's like, because I mean, in reality, there's a big difference between I protected a 4-run lead and I protected a no-run lead or a 1-run deficit or a 1-run lead. The Giants just don't score a lot. And so it just seems like, it just is not a great spot for relievers because there's no margin for error. You give up a little bloop and a blast, and suddenly you're wearing goat horns. So I don't know. I hate framing overused relievers for being what many relievers are when they get used too much, which is fallible. But that was the move of the day. What did you guys think of it? Danny just took off. He's out to make his ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but I mean, like Danny was saying, I think when we did our last broadcast on Friday, he was like, you need a strikeout guy in there. Like, why not put in Jake McGee? Like, where's Jake McGee? What's going on with Jake McGee? Now we know. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, the guy's getting older, and he's not going to be part of the future. And he really, we've given him a lot of chances this year and hasn't really been able to put it all together again like he did last year. So. Yeah, I'm not super surprised. We've got some exciting young guys in the bullpen coming up. So,
Danny, what did you think of McGee getting DFA'd? I mean,
I'm not surprised at all. I kind of said the other night when he didn't pitch last night in the or Thursday night when it was the 10th inning and they didn't go to him, and I thought they needed to because it's a strikeout situation. And my point I said then was, if you're not going to pitch him in high leverage situations, DFA him, because he's worthless as a guy in the bullpen, just to bring in and mop up situations or the 5th or 6th inning. He's a guy that needs to be in high leverage situations, and if he doesn't have it, get rid of him, and they did. So I don't think it changes the structure of the team much and the direction. I think they, like you tweeted out, I think hitters are what is needed. Relievers are one of the easier positions, I think, to replace. You got guys like Santos down there and Castro and Rivera. And, I mean, you got a ton of relievers that you can bring up. So I don't think it moves the needle much. I think it's a start in saying, hey, we're not going to keep aging veterans. When you stepped away for a moment, I made the comment to Rye. It's pretty interesting that how all of a sudden Longoria mysteriously ends up on the IL with a oblique strain somewhere. He must have gotten BP or who knows, and then La Stella goes on the COVID IL, and it's like, okay, now we've got McGee, a 35-year-old off the roster, gone. We got La Stella, 33, 34. He's not on the active roster. And then we got Longoria, 36, not on the active roster. Are we starting to send a message that we're slowly going to start, moving away from these older guys and give us a little breather to find ways to to permanently get him off the roster, I'm wondering because I think it's necessary. I think guys like Longoria and La Stella, they had their moments and they're not producing. Why keep them on there if they're not going to be productive?
Let's talk about that, because the Giants definitely need more offense. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think we are all in agreement on that. This game's a little frustrating from the standpoint of where's Joey Bart? If you're going to have Joey Bart on the roster, you're really going to sit him behind Austin Wynns? I mean, that is very surprising to me, but they're doing that. Bart sat today because it was Darvish, but Darvish is a tough righty. I mean, the whole league's filled with tough righties. I want to see more of Joey Bart. If he's going to be up, play him, put him in the lineup.
Let him catch a rhythm.
Yeah, exactly. And see if he can play his way through it. See if he can find his way. See if he can, establish some momentum at some point. But where that aside, catching aside, because catching is kind of, Bart's the future or Bailey's the future. And I think they're going to try to just kind of gut it out with what they have. But that aside, if you were trying to improve this Giants offense, where would you look to improve it? I mean, let's say, you want to play Villar every day at third, and they seem like they want to play Estrada a lot at second. Maybe today they played Flores. Maybe Flores gets more at bats at second, just because of the offensive potential that he brings. If Belt's healthy, and by the way, I'm not sure if he is, but if he's healthy, he had 2 more hits tonight. His average is up to 217. Peterson's your all-star. Luis Gonzalez is definitely in the mix, either at the DH spot or in the outfield. They love Slater in center. Where would you try to add to the lineup? Lamont Wade is hitting 185. He went 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight. Is his place secure, or is that outfield spot open? How do you guys see? Where could they inject some more offense and do it, relatively easily?
Well, you got Isan Diaz down in the minors. I don't know how much. He's not hitting great for average. He's got a little pop. Saw him hit his 16th homer, I believe, last night, or the night before. That's a guy in your system. Willie Calhoun, he's not tearing it up at all either, but he's another guy if you want to start from your system without having to trade guys. But otherwise, you're going to have to make some deals. You're going to have to go out and get a Josh Bell or find somebody that is available that can wake this club up, because the guys they have are just not doing it. I'm sorry. Hey, Yaz finally got a hit on the top of the 9th. He rolled one up the middle, but that's his first hit I've seen in maybe a week.
Oh, and Dan, you missed this because it was on the broadcast, but they were not ripping Yaz, but kind of were. They were basically saying, look, Darvish, whatever the coaches are telling them, they're just saying, just throw fastballs to Yaz. We don't think he can even catch up. And in that one at bat, they threw him 8 straight fastballs. I think they mixed in one off speed pitch just to just to show him, but it was nowhere near the strike zone. He was just attacking him with fastballs a little bit high and in, or high middle. And so, that's just one thing. It's come on, man, you're Yaz, you should be able to hit a fastball.
They're in a kind of a weird spot as far as, obviously Crawford's their established guy, so he's going nowhere. And you've got Villar at third. Maybe he can play a little second. Maybe the DH spot, maybe one of the outfield spots. Who would you say is their best? If you guys had to say, what is the, forget righty or lefty, if you without me telling you there's a righty or lefty, so you can't necessarily match it up with your righty lefty games. Who are the 3, if you want to put your best offensive outfield on the field at once? Who's out there with Jock Peterson? Obviously, Jock Peterson's is out there. Probably maybe Luis Gonzalez is out there.
Who's Slater?
Slater over Yaz?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he can hit, and he hits righties decently, and he really hits lefties well. I mean, I bet you if you look at the splits, Slater's probably hitting righties better than Yaz is hitting overall average.
Slater is 271 against righties, 276 against lefties.
Play him. He's stolen 36 out of 39 bases. He's he had one bad
He's better
game
defensively, probably.
He had a bad center field one game a few weeks ago. I can't remember who it was, but he misplayed a couple balls. But it was a windy day at the yard at home. But otherwise, I mean, I'd like to see Slater just be an everyday player until he shows he's not, and play Jock and play Gonzalez. And, looks like if Belt's out, you might have to move Wade over to first base, if you want your lefty in there. And then you still got Yaz, who could DH or off the bench, or, maybe they want Gonzalez right now DHing because of his back, and maybe they want to wait till after the All-Star break to see him, so he's ready to play out in the field. I don't know. But to me, got to have Jock's bat in there, got to have Gonzalez bat in there. Slater, Crawford's going to play every day because, he's their short, and you could give him a break now and then with Estrada playing short if you need to give Crawford a day off, which I think I would. I think I'd give him a day off once a week if you're facing a tough lefty, just to prolong his body, but start putting an everyday lineup out there. I think I mentioned to you guys earlier before, it's really frustrating when I look at the Giants, the preview. I check 3 hours before the game, and you see what the lineups are. And every stinking game, you see their opponents list their lineup, and it's practically the same lineup. Maybe they move one or two guys, but every team they play almost has a set lineup. And the Giants are waiting on the Geek Squad to tell them, okay, we just finished our analytics for the day, and an hour before we're going to put these guys in. And I don't even think Gabe makes the lineup. I really don't. I think he's in on it, but I think it's a group thing. I don't think the manager says, okay, I'm putting my lineup together. I think he relies on a bunch of things that is told down to him, and it's kind of frustrating. I mean, they don't have a club that can put out a lineup. They don't know their lineup until just over an hour before the game when the lineups due. It's crazy.
Well, they're playing those matchup games, and they're playing Johnny Secrecy, and heck, we saw it in the playoffs against the Dodgers where they're kind of flipping things around, waiting to the last second, trying to gain some, incremental advantage. Yeah, I mean, it's the team, because of the constant juggling, has kind of a chaotic feel to it. You don't really know any one day. I mean, Jock Peterson becomes an all-star. He doesn't even play that day. It's like it's just wild. I mean, and Kapler's like, well, he can't play every day, blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, it's just it's very bizarre to kind of see the commentary back and forth. What did you guys think of the waiver wire pickup, Colton Welker? I kind of like that move. I mean, Welker's a doubles machine, is a really good contact hitter. It wasn't that long ago. He was like the Rockies, I think top 5, top 10 prospect. Right. He's not old. He's 24. The Rockies cheaped out. They didn't want to pay him while he was rehabbing his injury. He's having shoulder surgery. He's done for the year. So it's one of these deferred gratification Luis Gonzalez type moves, but I think that's a no-brainer. Just if you're just willing, the Giants have a ton of cash, use it to your advantage. If the Rockies want to go cheapo on Colton Welker and let him walk out the door, then pay the freight for the year to get him healthy. Farhan makes a lot of nondescript moves, but I love the Luis Gonzalez move because they were getting a fairly highly rated bat for nothing. And the same way I like that move, I like this move because it's the exact same story with Welker.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a career 300 guy in the minors with a crazy on base. So
he's not even that old, right?
Yeah,
he's like 24.
I mean, 24.
I think it's a great move. Farhan, I will give Farhan a lot of credit for finding guys that are talented, that coming off injury like Gonzalez and the kid you said from Colorado,
Colton
and
Welker.
hopefully he pans out. You know, if that's how you're going to get some of your guys by other teams who have developed them and they're ready to go. I mean, he's had a stint last year, I believe, with the big club, didn't he? I looked him up. I think he had a few at bats with the big club last year. So these guys are,
I mean, he's not an awesome athlete. He's not fast. He's probably a third baseman who in a couple of years is going to be a first baseman DH. But if you look at the contact rate in the minor leagues, he's got great, he makes a lot of contact and he's a gapper. He's a gap hitter coming to a big, an outfield with a lot of gaps. I could see Colton Welker, maybe 3 years from now or 2 years from now, pound out 40 or 50 doubles and really be a guy that in a lot of ways is made to play in San Francisco. I like it. I think that's a great move. Now, if Farhan was sitting here, I'd say that's phenomenal. Now go back it up with a couple other moves. I mean, you left yourself short offensively this year. You're asking guys to do way too much. By the way, is that a spoon or is that a?
There's no spoon. They had a spoon earlier.
What are we using there as a dipper?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's just something for the coffee. It's a coffee filter, plastic coffee filter, and they had no. The spoon got thrown out this morning, and the maid housekeeper.
Man, you really had to have your ice cream. You're going coffee filter. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's incredible creativity.
Yeah, that's all I could find.
Right out of the carton too, huh? You're not going to share any with your lovely bride. You're just going to town on it.
She gets the other half.
I've definitely I've had some dark times.
She's over there, yeah.
I've had some dark times where I get the Ben and Jerry's pint, especially college where there might be something on something, and I'll if I have to, I would use the top of the Ben and Jerry's and just fold it and just.
Wow.
It's pretty
That's
sick
not
stuff.
a bad idea. I could try that right here, huh? Just scoop it up.
Look at you. Look at that. Creativity, Danny.
I almost bought an ice cream cookie sandwich. Hey, I had in-seat service today.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. You ordered a hamburger, fries, bring it right to the seat, nice and hot. Took like 2 minutes. 2 minutes after I ordered, it was.
What kind of a tip? What kind of a tip did you have? Did you give a good tip?
Not bad. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
No, that wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't huge, but it wasn't bad.
Huge.
Let's
I mean, they had the 15, and they had the 18, and they had the percent, on there. So I normally hit the 20.
Face-palmed Godzilla says desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Look at that.
Covered all over it.
Oh, Dan's a sharer. That's what I like.
Hey, babe.
Now that who's watching Faith and who's watching Faith? Who's watching Buster right now? That's the real question.
They're at the kennel. They're at the kennel. They're at the first year. The first year.
Camp Bow Wow.
We could probably pull up. Now, I've taken a Camp Bow Wow before, but they're at the first year. They got a pool there.
Really? Do they have video surveillance? Could you survey?
We could probably pull them up online right now and see what they're doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the video surveillance of what they're doing at the doggy hotel.
Yeah.
By the way, so you didn't go to the Omni, but you got your dogs at a dog hotel. I like that.
Yeah, they're at the pool. Yeah, it's $80 a day. Golly.
80. Wow.
For the pair, sure.
That's not bad for the pair. I'd love to see Buster and Faith out there with all these other dogs and just see, you get a real feel of who's the alpha.
Yeah, general pop. Let's see what they look like in general population there.
I hope I don't get some paternity suit. I hope Buster doesn't get any other dogs pregnant out there, so I get in trouble.
Does he have balls?
Huh?
Does he have balls?
He's actually a little. He's pretty happy because I chopped him off. I got him I got him neutered, so he's out there just having a good time.
Oh, so
I chopped them off.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to neuter them, man. Because they don't make. I don't know.
You took away Buster's strut.
You don't really see many balls in the wild these days.
Yeah,
on dogs, it's pretty startling when you see him. Have you guys seen that Paul George picture where like he's got his dog cuddled up on him and they're both asleep and his balls are just right on his shoulder?
Oh God,
that's
awful.
And Nick J says Dan sent him to the kennel, thought he didn't want him there. That was a few weeks ago when they had a kennel cough breakout. So they've got it under control. So
look at Nick remembering those facts about Danny and how you interact with kennels.
Yeah, they had a kennel cough deal, and so they said it had calmed down, and so I mean they've had their vaccines for it, so hopefully,
Gonzo Shitsock says Buster and Faith running the yard.
Yeah, there they are. Yeah, running the yard. I'm sure that Buster is out there. Buster, he couldn't wait to get in there. Oh, who do we got here?
Was Paul George?
Paul George, PG.
Playoff P right there.
George.
Yeah, playoff P.
Huh? Playoff P with a pit bull.
I
got to check out. I got to check out and see if I can pull him up.
Hey guys, also I just wanted to, I was telling Larry really quickly.
Nick says, I'm a Krueg show degenerate. I remember too much random crap, LOL. Nick, we love you. We love you, brother.
That's awesome.
What were you going to say, Ryan?
Oh, okay. So I was going to say, and we may not do it tonight, and I briefly teased it to Larry, but, Larry kind of asked me, when we get towards the end of these shows, sometimes, we run out of steam, we start, whatever. So he asked me to kind of come up with some segments and whatnot to kind of get the conversation going. I think I came up with a great segment, and I think that there's future things that we can do with this.
Wow, let's hear it.
Ready for the NFL draft? All right, so I'm just going to tease it, and we can do it today or we can do it tomorrow. I'm actually going to share a screen with you guys real quick.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you can read this, but okay, this is the idea. It's an NFL team draft. Okay? So this would be how it goes. We would be just snake draft. We're only going to draft 24 teams because at a certain point those teams are crap. And we're each going to end up with 7 teams, and then throughout the year or at the end of the year the bottom 2 get dropped. So just our top 5 teams. And we're just going to go head to head versus each other in points. And this is the scoring system I came up with.
So we're not going to pick all 32 teams. Some teams won't get picked?
Yeah, just 24. So this is the way it goes. Regular season, there's 17 games. So you get 1 point.
Wait, Rye. You said we're going to pick 7 teams and 24, and we're each going to have
7 teams each. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. I meant 8. Okay. Well, Danny just dunked on me. But, okay, anyway. 8.
That ain't right. This is a man who's eating ice cream with a coffee filter. I mean, that just ain't right.
Okay. So here it is. I'll get through
teams.
it. Okay, 8 teams. We drop 2, so we each have 6. And this is the scoring system. The regular season, there's 17 games. You get 1 point per victory. So, max, if somebody went 17-0, they'd get 17 points.
Okay.
But, we all know, sports are about the playoffs. So I wanted the playoffs to be worth a little bit more. So we got 17 points in the regular season. Then in the playoffs. So the way I worded it is if you advance to the divisional round, that's 3 points. So it's because, the top team is going to get a bye. So that should count. They should automatically get the 3. Then if you advance to the conference championship, you get 4 points. Advance to the Super Bowl, 5 points. Win the Super Bowl, 6 points. So a total of 18. Obviously, only one team's going to win the Super Bowl. But we're going to do this. We could do this. And, just whoever has the most, cumulative points amongst their top 6 teams at the end of the season, I don't know. We come up with something. But so the draft would be like, it'd be however we figure out the order, it'd just be a snake draft with us 3. It'd probably take, 15 minutes. And, it's kind of just a way to get
Let's do it right now. Let's do it right freaking now, damn it.
Let's do it. I love this because I felt, this is the way we get our takes off.
Damn it, we're doing it now.
We're doing it now. All right.
We'll do it live. Okay. Bill O'Reilly. I'll do it live.
All right. I'm going to give Larry the number 1 pick. Dan,
yes, I get the number 1 pick.
Dan, would you prefer 2 or 3? Now, 3 does have the turn.
Danny, you still with us?
I'm buffering here. The
How
S-hole
dare you? How
of,
dare you,
hotel.
Buffer?
How dare you?
All right. So who's
You're
getting
Buffer.
the first pick? Did you say I? You say I get the first pick?
No, you don't get the first pick. If anything, you're lucky you get any pick.
Come on, I gave a play-by-play of Flores. What a
all right.
In fact, we may bump you out for Christopher. We're not even 100% sure if you're in this thing. I may let
okay.
I may let Mark Graves pick for you.
I'm giving Dan the second pick.
I may make it a special club thing. Let's see.
All right, I'm giving Dan the second pick. Sorry, Dan. I don't know which one you prefer. Yeah. I mean,
so do we reverse it after we go 1, 2, 3, then reverse?
Oh yeah, it's snake draft style.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just finish up. Okay, Danny. Okay, Dan, can you guys filibuster for a second?
Yeah. We're about to do this draft. I intend on winning. Anything I enter, I need to win.
Yes.
And Larry's first pick, the Houston Texans.
Oh, wait. Look at that. Look at that. Graves. Doesn't matter if Danny's on the road. Muted. See, this is where Graves says, you know what? I'm the big you-know-what in here. So Danny is muted right now. So that takes care of Dan. All right. So Dan's muted. He's at the hotel in San Diego near the Omni. He's now raising his arms in frustration.
Okay.
Right, I better write this down.
Yeah, and I'll of course share this doc. And can you guys? Is it close enough that you can see?
Yeah, I can see
the teams. I went in order of Vegas odds, thinking that would be good. Here, let me do that. There we go. Now we can see a little better.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
Yo, Otis, let's do this.
Let's do it.
What am I quoting that from?
I don't know.
That's from the movie, the soundtrack to Colors.
Okay.
Yo, Otis, let's do this. All right.
Oh, unmute. Dan. Yep. All right.
All right. Wait. Where's Graves? Oh, unmute. Okay, there you go.
Sure.
Graves says, "Welcome back, Dan." All right, here we go.
All right, Larry, 1-1, and no shot clock, but we'll try and keep it
1-1. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Buffalo Bills.
All right, Danny, you're on the clock.
This is number 2. Okay, let me think here. Let's go with
Tampa Bay, Chiefs, Rams, Packers, Chargers, Niners, Broncos.
Later that same day.
Okay, I'll go with Tampa.
Oh,
look at Danny. Danny always pretends he knows nothing and then drops the knowledge on you. Go on Tampa.
See, I gotta say, I was really hoping that one of those two would end up sliding. Dang it. Okay, you know what? I'm taking the Rams.
Wow.
Taking the Rams at the turn. Oh, that sets me up for one more. Oh, see, the thing is, I've got takes, and part of my takes is I'm not super high on the Chiefs this year. So do I want to take them at the turn?
Why are you not high on the Chiefs?
They just have the hardest schedule, and
okay. No, I thought Dallas had the hardest. Or no, Dallas is the easiest schedule. That's right.
Yeah. And so the Chiefs have the hardest schedule, and they're playing the NFC West this year, and so they've got the tough division, interdivision, and they've got the NFC West. And
I do have strength of schedule here in front of me. I can tell you who's got the hardest schedules. The hardest schedule actually is the Rams, then the Cardinals, then the Bengals, then the Bucks, then the Niners, then the Chiefs. Easiest schedules are Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, basically the entire NFC East. And the Lions have the easiest schedules.
All right, I'm planting my flag. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm going double LA, baby.
I like that. I like the Chargers a lot. That's a great call.
I'm kind of looking at this schedule here, and I see Larry, Dan, Ryan, Dan, Larry, Dan, Ryan, Dan. Where's Dan?
No Dan, because
there is no Dan.
I would have given you the third pick, but you're too quick to the draw.
It's a 3-person draft and a snake draft. Do you get it?
Okay, yeah, I got you.
All right.
Okay.
So it's now my pick. I'm
No,
going.
it's not. It's my pick.
Oh, it is? It's Danny's pick? Okay.
He's trying to steal all my picks, man.
Go ahead.
What am I?
Age before beauty. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to take the Packers.
God damn it. That was my pick.
Danny, I like Danny's squad so far. All right, Larry, now you got 2.
Oh, I got 2 here. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to go with
it's tough.
It is
really
tough.
It's really tough because also it's like it seems too early to maybe take the Niners, but also it's like you don't want the Chiefs and the Broncos, or maybe you do. I don't know.
Sometimes it's I'm gonna go Colts. I'm gonna go Colts. And you say, why am I going Colts? Because I just look at the easiest schedules.
Exactly.
It goes Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Lions, and then Colts.
Yeah, I mean,
So the Colts have an easy schedule.
And it's like they're pretty guaranteed to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I like the Colts. And then, I don't want to overthink this.
Chiefs are still. Do you want Dan to be able to have the Bucks, Packers, and Chiefs? That just sounds scary. But
he's got them, right?
Or no, Chiefs are still on the board.
Oh, Chiefs are still on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Oh,
Chiefs are still on the board.
Yeah, you can see I'm bolding the teams that have been taken.
Yeah, I'm going KC. I'm going KC.
All right.
I'm gonna go with my hometown team. I'm going with the Niners.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
I'm going with the Niners because I think they're going to make a playoff run.
Trey Lance, arm fatigue, you're done. All right. No.
Now I'm in the tough spot of do I want the Chargers and Broncos? And they could both not win the division. All right, I'm going with I have the turn here, so I'm going to be a little filibuster and go with the Ravens.
Wow.
I'm going Ravens.
You got another pick, right?
I got another pick. Oh, geez. This is tough.
Dallas? What about Dallas?
I'm not a huge Dallas guy. I'm taking the Broncos. I'm double stacking.
Wow.
Double stacking.
So Rye,
you got the whole AFC West. Why don't you take the Raiders too?
Rye's got Rams, Chargers, Baltimore, Denver. Danny's got Tampa, Green Bay, and the Niners. I've got Buffalo, Indy, and Kansas City.
All right, I'm going to go with.
And before you give your pick, I also will throw out. So part of this is, we each get 6 teams, but we also get to drop 2. So
we get 8. We get 8.
Taking a flyer on the Cleveland Browns at some point. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, we get 8 teams, right? And we get to drop 2.
Drop 2.
Drop 2 at what point?
Or just at the end. It's just whoever your top 6 are.
Okay. All right. So, what was those easy schedule again, Larry? You got it in front of you?
Yeah. The easiest schedules in the league, strength of schedule, Washington, Dallas, Eagles, Giants, Lions, Colts, Jaguars are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's like the bottom 7.
Oh, the NFC East. Okay, I'm going to take the Eagles.
Damn, that was a great pick. That's what the other one I was thinking about.
Yeah, Eagles might be good. So is it Danny again or me?
Now it is double. It's double Larry.
Ooh, I got 2 here. All right, I'm going.
It's tough because it's like you want to plant your flag on some teams, but also you don't want to let some of these just.
I'll go Patriots.
Oh, that's a flag point. I like that.
Yeah, I'll go Patriots. That seems like a no-brainer. And I'll go Titans.
The Titans.
Yes, Tennessee. Give me Tennessee.
I'll take the Bengals.
Bengals. I mean, it's defending. Yeah. Oh,
the team that loses the Super Bowl usually has a bad hangover.
I got to get an AFC team in there. I have all NFC.
Hey, you got the NFC stack. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Look at this. Facepalm Godzilla. Larry.
Oh, see, I don't want to.
Romo 2001. Lar. Do you see the theme here? Do you see the theme?
Oh, this is tough, guys. Seriously, I'm really down on the Cardinals. I have the Eagles. I'm expecting the Eagles to win the division over Dallas, and the Browns are freaking.
Jimmy G.
I mean, the Browns are good. They just have no quarterback
Yet Jimmy G is going to be their quarterback.
Oh crap! But I also have the Ravens that I took early. All right.
It's a tough. Now we're in tough territory.
Okay, this is what's happening. I'm taking the boys.
Dallas.
Raiders!
Taking the boys, and then
taking the
I'm
boys.
taking the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't know about that.
I'm up. Okay. Let's see. Do I want to go?
Here, I'll keep.
That NFC South is weak. We got the Falcons, the Saints, the Panthers, and who's my other one in the South? I'm drawing a blank.
Bucks.
I have Tennessee.
The Bucks. I think.
Are you going double hometown?
No, I'm not going to take the Cardinals yet. I'm thinking. Let's see. I'm going to take the Saints.
Dang it.
Who's New Orleans quarterback? Jameis?
Jameis.
They got a decent. Oh no, the backup's that rookie, isn't it?
I mean, they're
From,
trying to win now, though.
So
Yeah,
I
they
have the
are.
last pick here.
You have 2 picks here.
I thought we said 6.
Oh,
We
no,
get 8.
we
We
get-
get 8.
but
Oh,
you
8.
can drop your worst 2.
Okay, so basically all the top teams are gone.
Yeah. We got
Um,
Browns, Cardinals, Dolphins, Raiders, Commanders, Steelers, Giants, Panthers, Bears.
Don't believe in Tua. Otherwise, I'd go Dolphins because I do think Dolphins are quite improved.
Well, you got 2 picks.
You got 2 picks.
Yeah, I don't.
And Larry, you're not going to get another pick until these are
This is basically it.
yeah, and then
Who's going to be the Steelers starting quarterback?
Trubisky.
That doesn't add up. Man, how do I go?
Tough, man.
Give me Cleveland.
Take him. I was going to
Give me Cleveland, and I'll take. This probably should be a flyer, huh?
I mean, the Browns was a bit of a flyer.
Yeah, I mean they got a Super Bowl roster though.
Yeah, that's true.
They really do have a great roster. Do I go Arizona? They're not going to have Hopkins early. There's all the talk about this and that. Oh man, what about the Raiders? Raiders might not be a bad call.
Hey,
I'm debating between the Raiders. Now, what's your guys' philosophy on this? As far as do you go for teams that you like to root for? Do you go for teams that you know? Is there any strategy in this?
I think like if you think they're going to make the playoffs, I mean that's then all of a sudden you're getting into bonus points, but they'd have to win a round. And which of these teams could win a round if presented with the right matchup?
That's a good question. Okay, let me say
The Browns would have been a top 7 pick if we knew Deshaun was coming back halfway through the year, or maybe not top 7. Yeah, something like that.
So all the top ones: Bucks, Bills, Pack, Chiefs, Cowboys, Rams, Niners, Chargers, Bengals, Broncos, Titans, Ravens, Colts, all off the board.
All off the board.
Hey, Graves, get ready to make my pick, okay?
I'll go Arizona.
Hey,
Oh, man, you took Arizona, man. I was going to have Graves make my pick. Okay, Mark, you're out there. What are you thinking, Mark? I'm giving you some power. You got power to mute me and unmute me, so I'm giving you some power now to make my pick.
Oh, now you're leaning on Graves. Graves,
I'm bringing
Graves,
Graves into the show. What is it? That Tennessee? What is that?
Graves says Jacksonville. Go with Jacksonville.
Tene. Itchy says Raiders. Okay, Graves, you got
95 says Raiders.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see what Graves has to say for
Graves.
you. Are you really going to lean on Graves here?
Seahawks.
I'm trying to play to his better side that he won't keep muting me. So,
Seriously, Danny's looking to not be muted.
I mean,
on, Graves.
the Panthers have Baker Mayfield.
We got 10 seconds.
Can we make one trade?
And he did it. He did it. That's what I was going to go with.
All right.
He did it. We're in agreement. The Raiders.
Yeah,
Las Vegas to Danny.
All right, now I've got the double turn. This is easy. I'm taking the Dolphins.
That's a good pick. I was going to take
I
them
think they're
too.
going to make the playoffs. And then now we're getting into,
Some tough territory.
tough territory, but also, Washington or one of Washington or the Giants are going to be in the division race. I just, that's how it feels to me. Like they're one of them.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is going to have a good year, or, Wentz is going to have a decent year. And, they have some of the easiest schedules.
Did we put all 32 teams up there?
Yeah. Here's the last.
Okay, I was seeing.
Yeah.
What are the other teams?
All right, we got Commanders, Steelers, Giants, Panthers, Bears, Jaguars, Lions, Jets, Seahawks, Falcons, Texans.
What are you going with? Is it my pick or your pick?
My pick. Sorry, this is my last pick, so I'm just really. Who do I like between the Commanders and the Giants?
Goes with
Who's the
his
commander?
former
They have
employer.
Wentz, don't they?
They've Wentz,
And they have a
it's
good
schedule.
defensive front. I kind of like Commanders.
Larry picked his Cardinals, his former employer, as an NFL scout.
All right, you know what? I'm taking the Commanders.
Yeah. Rye, you just took my pick. I was
Commies are mine.
okay. You commie.
Who's
man.
pick now?
Me. All right. I've got either the Steelers, Giants.
Steelers are what are the Steelers? Steelers win 9-10 almost every year.
They've never had a losing season.
Tomlin's never been under 500.
Yeah, I mean that right there. You might want to just be safe at the end here.
Well, let me look at this process of elimination here. The Giants, I don't see
Giants look good too.
Hey, if you guys if you want to think on this a little bit, I could put up everybody's teams. Or at least I'll start working on that right now.
Who'd the Falcons get as their quarterback?
Mariota.
Mariota, yeah.
They had a good draft too.
Steelers or Giants? Steelers are in that tough division though. They've got 2 against the Ravens, 2 against the Bengals, 2 against the Browns.
It's just how do you believe in Trubisky, or also you got Kenny Pickett there.
Yeah. Is it? What's their? I know they got Najee in the backfield. What are they? And they got the. They got what's his name?
What?
The defensive end player of the year guy.
TJ Watt.
Watt. Yeah. And but they. Let's see. I don't know what Carolina's going to do. Whether they're going to have Mayfield be their QB, or if they're going to who's going to win
Or the Ole Miss kid.
No, they'll go to Baker. They'll use Baker.
They'll use Baker.
Baker and Carolina. They gotta. They're in that NFC South with Tampa.
You should do. Yeah, you should. We should do this, and then this will be a good question. I could ask people who's got the best team, who's got the best deal.
All right, I'm
Danny,
gonna
who
go
you going with.
I'm gonna take the Steel Curtain, the old Steel Curtain. I'll go with the Steelers.
It's a good pick.
Really? Okay. So I got the last pick.
You got the last pick. You want to read it? I've only put yours up yet. You don't really have a horrible team in here at all. You've got the Bills, Colts, Chiefs, Patriots, Titans, Browns, and Cardinals. Were those all playoff teams last year?
Arizona wasn't, right? No, didn't Arizona miss?
They made it. They lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
All playoff
But
teams.
you know the way that goes.
Oh, for sure.
I'll tell you who I'm going with, and I really believe this team is going to be a playoff team.
Taking the Falcons.
I like Seattle.
Oh, I like it.
I like Seattle.
He likes their draft.
Seattle had got Kenneth Walker III. Kenneth Walker III is a terrific running back. I don't believe in the quarterback, but they got you got to remember this in the Russell trade they got Noah Fant. So they've got Fant and Disley and so they got 2 decent tight ends. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Freddie Swain, and then they drafted some good receivers. Bo Melton, Derek Young. I like those guys. So they improved the line with Charles Cross. So that was their first round pick. And then I thought they had an excellent draft in the secondary, getting Kobe Bryant, the Thorpe Award winner, Boye Mafe off the edge.
I got
Seattle,
there, right?
they're still that's a tough place to go and play. I think everybody's kind of, it's still Pete Carroll. They, I don't know. To me, I think Seattle's a pretty good pick. I'll take Seattle. I feel good about that.
Yeah, I like the pick. All right, I'm almost done. You went okay. Now Ryan, it's Rams, Chargers, Broncos, Rams, Chargers, Ravens, Broncos.
We got to get all of our listeners, our subscribers, hitched to one of our teams, and then.
Well, we can start talking also, like, I don't know what happens if you win, if you lose.
Mark Graves says, take the field, Larry. Yeah, and then wouldn't that be awesome if you could take the field?
Yeah.
And I'll take the field.
All right. These are that.
I like it.
Nothing good happens with
Bills, Colts, Chiefs. Yeah, look at that.
There we go. All right, let's run.
Nothing good happens with a Daniel Snyder team, though. It's like the Clippers.
So give me the rundown of the point system again. I'm going to write it down.
Okay.
You get 1 point
per regular
season win.
Yes.
And then you get 2 points.
Or you get 3 points
for playoff wins.
You get 3 points for the first round win, and that also applies to the bye teams. So that's 3. Then for the second round, you get 4 points per win.
So if they get a bye, they automatically get 3 points?
Automatically get 3 points.
Oh, so the the top record gets a
guaranteed 3. So it's 3 first round, 4 second round, 5 conference finals, 6 Super Bowl. So a total of 18 points possible, and the regular season is a total of 17 points possible.
I got a good shot in the NFC. I got the Bucks, Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to run down I'm just going to run them down by round. Okay, first round, Dan took the Bucks, Larry took the Bills, Ryan took the Rams. Second round, Dan took the Packers, Larry took the Colts. Or we could say, you would have taken Chiefs, but still, Packers, Colts, Chargers. Then third round was 49ers, Chiefs, Ravens. Fourth round, Eagles, Patriots, Broncos. Fifth round, Bengals, Titans, Cowboys. Sixth round, Saints, Browns, Vikings. Seventh round, Raiders, Cardinals, Dolphins. And last but not least, the Steelers, Seahawks, and Commies.
And what's so we each have 8 teams, but we're going to be cutting 2 of them.
Yes. So likely, if let's say 2 of them don't make the playoffs, I guess.
And when do we cut the 2 teams?
Let's just say, end of the regular season, I guess you'd say.
Maybe you should make it a little more interesting where you have to cut them after like 10 games or something, because then it makes it like hard.
Right. Okay. Or because then maybe you didn't cut last year like Indy, but then at the end, and they died on you.
I'm down. Maybe like we cut one team maybe one team after the first 8 weeks, and then one team after the end of the regular season.
Maybe after 12. No, it's too easy to cut them at the end because you made the bet. There's no pressure on you if you don't. You know what I'm saying? If you cut them at the end,
guys, I got to check out to go see Thor.
Yeah, awesome. So
can you guys play the spots and finish up for us?
For sure.
Very good. All right,
guys.
Very good.
We'll talk to you. Good luck to me. Good luck to you guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. All right. So how trash was Larry's? Am I right?
Let's look at those picks again. He took the Seahawks. Okay. Well, it was at the end. So
yeah. Do you want me to put him back up?
Yeah, I want to see him there because I think maybe we should. If we just cut 2 teams at the end, it kind of makes us like you just pick 8 and you get to keep 6. But if you have to cut 2, what happens if you cut the wrong team and they make the playoff? It kind of makes it funner.
No, that's true. Also there's a good chance, maybe we have, 3 bums or whatever. And
I'm thinking maybe after 10 weeks and what do you think? 14 weeks. And there's still 3 weeks left in the season, 3 games left Let's see. After 10, you got it. You can cut one. And then, there's still 4 and 6. And you're going like,
let's hear from the chat. I want to hear the chats. This is the complete order.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear what the chat thinks in terms of maybe who had a bad pick or whatnot, for running through these. Okay, we got, starting with the Bills, that makes sense. Tampa makes sense. Honestly, I don't know if I'm feeling best about taking the Rams and the Chargers, but hey. Then we got Dan took the Packers. Larry took the Chiefs and the Colts. I mean, might as well have taken the Chiefs first. Dan with the 40. I mean, we all wanted the 49ers, right? I feel like they were almost too high in the odds. And then I took the Raven. I think the Ravens are going to be the number 1 overall seed. That's a big take of mine this
Ravens?
year. Yeah.
Good shot.
I don't know how to feel about having the Broncos and Chargers because one of them is going to make the playoffs. But, if the Chiefs or the Raiders, I don't know. Larry took the Pats pretty early, I felt like. To take the Pats before the Bengals, Cowboys, that's tough. But then he kind of made up for it with the Browns pick later. I mean.
Yeah, I'm not so high on the Pats. I don't know why.
I'm not either.
I think they're gonna win. Maybe I think they're gonna be 8-9 or 9-8. I just don't see with not having McDaniels there. I think it's gonna hurt them more than they think because Belichick is Belichick running the offense or did he hire a coordinator? I didn't think he hired a coordinator.
No, he's promoted the rocket scientist, the guy that flamed out in Detroit. What's his name? The defensive.
The guy that the big guy.
You're getting a lot of love, Dan. I think everyone is. I mean, I do really like your team. Honestly, the thing I'm thinking about is like when I look at your team, you're 8. I think that there's a chance that all 8 make. There's a chance that all 8 make the playoffs. Now when I look at Larry's, I don't think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs. And the fact that he went Cardinals, Seahawks, that could be. I mean, at max, that's one playoff team of those two, and possibly none of them because they're also the NFC West is playing the AFC West this year. Right. I mean, the commies, please, I have no idea, no idea about that. I did not like taking the Cowboys. Did not feel good about that. I like the Dolphins a lot.
I don't know. Cowboys could be okay this year because
it could be okay, but I don't know. They lost Cooper, and I think the Eagles are going to win the division. So I thought that was a great pick by you. Much later for the Pats one. That was weird. That was definitely weird because look at the teams that went behind them: Bengals, Cowboys, even the Saints. I mean, he ended up getting the Browns, but also I don't know. I like the Vikings this year. They've got an offensive coach. I think they're going to be airing the ball out. And here's the thing, Dan. I mean, I think your Packers pick was logical because, they've got a crap division and all they do is win 13 games since LaFleur came in. But I mean, I don't know. They lost Devontae Adams. Like what? Rodgers literally does not have a single receiver.
I know. That's the only part that kind of made me nervous, but they're so good at finding receivers.
That's true. He said Lazard was their number 1 now. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he'll work with those guys, and, those guys always seem to find a receiver. I mean, whether it was Lofton or when they had Greg Jennings, and then they had
Jordy and
Jordy Nelson, and
I'm pretty high
Donald Driver. I mean, they always
the kid they got the Christian Watson out of North Dakota State, but it just
I was hoping that the Niners would get him just to kind of
it just feels like he's not going to be. I mean, think back to that game versus them in the playoffs. He was hunting for Devontae Adams, even on that last play where he had, I think it was Lazard wide open. Like, he didn't trust any of these guys, and they added a rookie. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe by the end of the year he gets going, but I think it's a lot to put on the kid. He maybe, I guess you could say, will do kind of a Marquez Valdez-Scantling impression. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, so I thought this was a cool idea, this like sort of draft thing, and it's kind of like now it's like we have teams we kind of can root for like all over.
Yeah.
I was thinking we need to figure out the methodology that we can all agree on. But I was thinking about doing the same exact thing, but with quarterbacks.
Ooh.
And I was thinking some we do like a blend of, 40%, use QBR because it is a good stat and it takes into account rushing. And then maybe, 40% their PFF ranking. And then maybe like 20% wins or something like that.
Yeah, wins would be, definitely wins.
And, if we blended all those together, it'd be some math to come up with. But for the most part, it wouldn't be bad. It'd be pretty easy to do it.
That would be cool.
And that's another fun one where it's like, where does Trey Lance go? Where does, I don't know. I don't even know who you'd take number 1 this year. I mean, I guess maybe Josh Allen, but, and then we also could get a lot of quarterback stacks, I feel like, where we end up taking, like, we have the quarterback and the team, and then all of a sudden we're really rooting. And other than that, I mean, I like the concept. I don't know. Maybe we could do it with college football. I don't know.
Nick J says loser wears a Dodger jersey on air for a week. Hey, you know what? I got to tell the group here. I might need some donations headed my way. I'm going to bet. I took what we talked about and I took the Padres today. I've been picking the Giants every day to win. And I picked the Padres with the run line today. I thought I get a 1.5. So I thought Padres would win by 2. I only put $10 down, but I did win the first inning. I put money down that there'd be no score after the first inning with Rodon or Darvish. So I lost $10 there, but I'm going to keep betting against the Giants.
Bet under hits for like Joey Bart and
Kevin I hope I pronounced it right. McKelligan. He says he might be going. Yeah, I'm here in San Diego, and I went to the first 2, and I was going to go tomorrow, but I'm flying up tomorrow to the Bay Area, and I wanted to get in before the game started. So I'm leaving, like, my flight's at 11:30. So I think I'm flying into Oakland because it's closer to, Danville. And
is that where you're staying in Danville?
Yeah, I'll be staying with my brother.
Oh, cool. So, and then that's another thing to let everyone know. Unfortunately, because of Larry has to do this, the 95.7. We already, the commitment came later than the prior commitment to this golf tournament we're going to. So it's going to be pretty funny. It's going to be just me and Dan, and we're going to have a banner that says Krueg Show and no Krueger. And we're just going to do some man on the street sort of. I don't know how the hell.
He may show up though around 1 because he's done with the 95.7 the game at noon. So he might be able to scoot over because the event goes. I looked it up. It goes till 7:00.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be hilarious. Like everyone's going to be like, who are you guys? And why are you here at this private event honoring Ricky Waters and all these NFL players and Hall of Famers? And
I'll just say, hey, I'm the Monster Slam guy. Now what did I even say on Flores Homer? Because I didn't know, I didn't plan it. I don't know what my home run call was. Did I say gone or did I say, I can't even remember because I was so excited. I was just like, I couldn't believe I was, first of all, filming it. And,
sorry.
So I just put it on. I don't even know what I said. Because, I don't have any, I'm obviously just, I'm just ad-libbing this and having fun. I'm not, trying to come up with a, like Dave Fleming's got his.
What did the people behind you were they say or next to you? Like
nobody said anything at all.
That's cool.
I didn't know if I was too loud or what.
Also on a scale, we were talking about fighting. That's obviously there's Boston. Like I remember going to Boston in my in my Giants jersey, and there was like 6 dudes that tried to fight me, and it was just like, what?
Oh my goodness!
Like,
yeah, I don't like to mess around with that. I just keep a low profile now.
And then there's the Dodger Stadium, which I was there for playoff game last year in the bleachers, and I was like the only Giants guy. So
that's rough out there. That's
a rough one. They tend to fight themselves, honestly.
Yeah, they do. Now but Romo's saying we got to sing. Loser has to sing. There's two losers though. Or are we talking last place and?
Yeah, maybe last place has to do a punishment, and first place gets a prize of sorts.
Yeah, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle. How's that thing go? I used to sing that to my kids.
Don't sing it yet because I don't know.
I'm not going to sing it, but I want to. With the words, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle. Here's my spout. I think something like that. That would be hilarious. I'd love to see Larry sing.
Oh my God, that would be money. Also, I was going to say, like, San Diego, the fans are really, really friendly. But in terms of places where I would not want to get into a fight, the problem is there's so many, ex and current Marines there that I just would be a little scared. You just never know. You never know who's served, who's whatever. And so that, I would not want to get in a fight in San Diego. Okay, here I've got the video, pulling it up. Okay,
Graves says 2XL shirt. Okay, I'll have to get him. Dan Cook.
All right, we're let's lead into the top, and then I'll skip to the home run because the top was good.
Dan Coccimilgio here, reporting live for the Krueg Show at Petco Park in San Diego. The Giants and Padres are all knotted up at 1 in the top of the 8th. Jock Peterson on first, and Wilmer Flores the batter. The 0-2 pitch.
My camera's a little fuzzy.
Get set.
In a little bit more.
The 1-2 pitch to Flores. There's a drive, deep left field. That thing's got a chance. It's at the wall. Gone!
Great camera work.
A 2-run homer, Wilmer Flores, and the Giants lead it 3-1.
That is such a good call.
Look at the crowd.
Just what the Giants needed.
3-1.
So cool that it ended up 3-1. That it held up, man. Rodon, what a. I mean, that's what you need. A guy that kind of performance of Rodon can actually get the club fired up because he's the one that has voiced his opinion the loudest. That said changes need to be made.
Oh, Dan, you know what? Let's go back to your David Villar, because this was one thing I'm starting to pay attention to now is kind of the vibe of I want to see the team getting fired up. And I'll tell you what, there's obviously Kapler is a nothing burger when it comes to celebrating, it seems like. But I don't know. There's a couple guys that I was like, they're getting fired up. Like Austin Wins. As much as I think I would like to see Bart Wins, seems like he's like a gamer. Like he's
got a lot of passion,
fired up. He's talking to people. He's hyping people up. And another thing I don't think you probably missed is Rodon in the dugout was on one. Like he was just pacing back and forth. He would not sit on the bench. It was almost like, Kapler, I dare you to freaking try and take me out. And also, what do you think about, because we've complained about Kapler and about how it'd be nice to blend a little bit of old school in there. 2 weeks ago, do you think that he lets Webb go as long as he did it all 8 and then Rodon finished the 9th? I don't think so. I think he is now maybe becoming a little more, I'm listening to the players here. I mean, clearly what we're doing is not working and we got to get back on. It kind of felt like, he's letting them cook.
I'm not sure if your video's frozen, Ryan. I'm not seeing you move, but I hear you. Your audio's fine, but the video's little frozen, but yeah, I think Rodon is he's a gamer. He's got a lot of passion. I see Wins behind the plate. He's even catching with passion. He'll be like, put the ball right here, and he'll pound the ground and he'll give it to the guys like the pitcher. He's pumping them up. I personally think that there are guys that would like to show more emotion, and I don't know if Kapler holds them back, because Gabe, to me, is a guy that he says, well, we don't get too high, we don't get too low, we're just even keeled. That's not the way a lot of athletes are. Guys want to get fired up, they want to get pumped up, and I think Rodon is like, you know what, I'm gonna take this team by the horse. I'm gonna put this team on my back, and I'm gonna throw a stinking complete game, whether it kills me or not. And we're gonna get this thing done. And if they don't like it, I'll request a trade here in a few weeks. Get me out of here.
It's just the way baseball works. It's like, with basketball, when you only have 5 guys on the floor, you can have your one Draymond Green, and that can kind of be enough to set the tone, regardless offense, defense. But with baseball, the one thing that sucks is it's like, we've got Rodon. He's a freaking bulldog. He's a competitor. We need a Rodon. We need whatever the version of Rodon is as a hitter, a guy that is, a steady guy who, we can rely on playing every day, and that is going to show a lot of emotion and get fired up out there. And so here, I wanted to show you this, because I was looking at this David Villar thing, and you recorded until he got all the way into the dugout. Now, this is the guy's first home run of his career.
First
and just look at it. It's just a lot of apathy in the dugout. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. But all right, no one's coming out. No one's like giving him some crazy. They're just kind of acting like, it's a, all right, I'll give you some skin. Okay. There's Gabe Kapler. It looks like, Kapler, it looks like, he's not, he lets him walk past. I'm sure he turns to him and says, hey, good job or whatever. But, he should be fired up. The guy should be, kind of flooding out of the dugout. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the team is very, it's kind of old and stoic, and they need some youth that infusion with youth. And I think some of the veteran guys, Rodon's 29. So guys that are been in the big leagues for 5, 6, 7 years that are still young enough should be really pumping up a lot of these guys. And some of the older guys, I mean, it's not their personality. Crawford and Belt, they're kind of low key, Yeah. And Longoria seems kind of low key, and Casale, he's an older vet too, and La Stella. I mean, they're all kind of, they're not fiery guys. One of the things I said about the Padres last year is they were, Tatis was having a great year, and he was always pumped up, and those guys were having a lot of fun. And I made the comment to a buddy of mine. I said, when they hit the skids, like every team does, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because they don't really have any leadership on that club that can, and they did. They fell apart, and Tatis and Machado got into it, and but this year with Bob Melvin coming in, it's just totally solidified their clubhouse. And, you get a leader, and I still think I'm pretty irritated personally that Gabe made the focus about the national anthem the other, that he's not participating in it. He could have just shut up and said nothing, and that probably would have been fine. That was his personal view, but he brought it out and made it an issue. And so now, I was there the last 2 nights games, last night's game, the Padres were all lined up on the first base line for the national anthem. And tonight, not all of them were out, but they still had quite a bit of their team, and the Giants just had their starters out. I can't see into the dugout, so maybe
you
Giants.
showed me you sent me a picture or video of it, I think, and it looked like, it was like Crawford was out there, and maybe 3 or 4 other guys.
Yeah, VR and Mercedes was out there, and couple of Wade. But
think about the Warriors. Like, think about the way, because coming in, what you'd say about Wiggins is like, man, it's just, if everyone says like, oh, if you put Dylan Brooks' brain inside, Wiggins' body, like, could you imagine? He'd be the best player of all time. But he's so stoic, and sometimes it seems like, it's like he's not even out there. And just the way the vets just, got in his ear and just were pumping him up at all times and just constantly, they do that with all their guys. It seems like they're just so happy for all of them to get going, and they know for the long run, like, they got to be involved, and they want to, like, everyone's got to have that same joy and be on the same page. And it just seems like, a guy like Crawford, these guys, they lead with their play. And the problem is they're not playing very well. And,
right.
and
So
Crawford,
they don't have as
and Crawford's a good guy to have in the clubhouse. If you've got your fiery mix of guys and, your Hunter Pences and Aubrey Huff. I don't know if we want to talk about him anymore, but still, Thong and all that, getting the boys loose. And, having a guy like Crawford out there that's stable is really nice around that group. But
yeah. I mean, and like you said about the Warriors, their bench was always fired up, and I think Curry, he's definitely been the leader of that club for years and years, and I mean, Steph is a very humble guy, but he's a very fiery competitor, and he's definitely plays with joy, and you see that, and it's infectious. And the Giants have infection too, and it's just a weak infection. It's a
staff.
We're not going to get too high. We're not going to get too low. Dang, man, get high. And so what? You get low. I want to see guys ticked off when they lose and frustrated. Not this. Oh yeah, we just lost 14 of 18, but we're gonna just mellow out here and we'll be okay. We're not gonna get too high when the things are going great, and we're not gonna get too low when we're stinking. It's like, well, when do you ever have any emotion? I mean, Rodon said something's got to change around here, and he goes out and throws a complete game. Gives up one run in the bottom of the second, and then he mows them down for the next 7 innings. The Padres, it was masterful. So in my opinion, Rodon has elevated himself to the leader of this club.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's weird to say though, because it's tough when you say your leader is a guy that only pitches 1 out of 5 games and is only, he's, only plays one side of the field, and really what we need right now is we just need some offense. So we need,
they need offense in a desperate way, and I don't know where it's going to come from. And I mean, I know guys go into slumps and they come out of slumps. It looked like Belt may be coming out of the slump. He hit the 2-run homer last night. Then he hits the double off the wall to start his first at bat today. And then I don't know. I'm going to have to look on Twitter and see if there's any word with Belt, if any of the reporters have said anything, if any of the people that are watching in the chat that knows anything about Belt, let me know, because if he's hurt again, that is not going to be a good thing. So
but also, and that's a position we don't really talk about, but we kind of need like the next guard of first basemen. It seems like we have a lot of these third basemen that I guess maybe could convert. But it'd be nice to have a guy other than Belt, at least like a somewhat of a succession plan. And, if Belt could just DH at this point, because his defense is no longer a plus. It's average for a major.
The strength of this team is Webb and Rodon.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, that is the strength. And you get one more pitcher. You look at Atlanta last year. They looked down and out. They were basically right around where the Giants are right now. And they went out and traded for 4 outfielders. They got Jock. They got Duvall. They got Eddie Rosario. And a 4th outfielder that's slipping my mind right now. Oh, Soler. So they got 4 sluggers. Rosario, Jock, Soler, and I just mentioned it. Soler, Rosario, Jock, and Duvall. They went out and got 4 outfielders and changed the shape of their entire identity. Now the Giants, Farhan needs to do the same thing because you've got 2 horses. You've got Rodon, you've got Webb. Junis is coming back, but maybe you go get a 3rd starter. Maybe you go get Noah Syndergaard from the Angels. He's available, and the Angels are going nowhere. Bring in, Thor and see what he might do for you, and then go out and get some outfielders and say, I would say Yaz is a guy that you might consider trading for a prospect and going out or getting some of these outfielders that are going to be free agents after this year. If you're going to go for it, go for it. Because I'm telling you, Rodon and Webb and one other starter, if you get a 3rd starter, that's what you need in the playoffs. I mean, Alex Wood or Cobb, I suppose, could give you some, 5 good innings in a start.
I mean, the problem is, I think at some point I did an exercise where I essentially ran through, all of our competitions, top 2-3 starters.
Yeah.
And the problem is that Wade and Rodon are enough. Those can be your 1 and 2 on a championship team. But the problem is that, they're not much better, or, they're about even with most of these teams in terms of their top 2, and most teams have a 3rd. Some of them have a 4th. And
you look at the Cardinals, who we got to get ahead of. They've got Arenado and Goldschmidt and
Edman.
What Edman, the second baseman. I mean, I can't see the Cardinals missing out on the playoffs. The Phillies are hot right now, though, and it's going to be tough for the Giants to step over some of those teams with the current roster construction. So Josh Bell and Castillo at the deadline, and we can win a series or 2. Yeah, I like those 2 guys. Castillo's going to be in high demand, and Josh Bell would be great to stick there at first base, especially Belt's having knee issues, and I don't think I feel bad for Belt because I like Brandon Belt. I am a Brandon Belt fan. I hate seeing him hurt, but the year he's having and the knee issues he's having, I can't see re-signing him unless he signs a contract like Jock got, 1 year, $6 million. I wouldn't want to sign him for, he's definitely, it's kind of a bummer for him because it's his free agent year, and he probably was hoping to turn this into a 2 or 3 year contract to finish his career out, and he may not be getting that now. And Craw, I love Brandon Crawford. He's just, to me, he's one of the best Giants of all time. And, I hate seeing him not come through having a great year at the plate, but
yeah,
I still think he can turn it around. I think,
honestly, that single Friday night, what was it? For Thursday night in the 9th to tie it up, that kind of showed me that, it's still in there. It really is. It's still in there. And he is the one thing I'll say for Crawford is he's a damn competitor. And even though he's not as vocal, he's a competitor who kind of just, he plays with that swag, and that's his way of talking ass and getting people fired up, is making crazy plays at short and coming through situations. It's they're few and far between now this year.
Exactly.
Somebody in the chat said they wanted to talk a little bit of Warriors.
Yeah, I saw that. Nick J said, can we talk about the Warriors real quick to Sean? Will Junis be back? Yes, he is throwing now, and I think he's going on a rehab start. I would expect Junis back possibly right a start before the All-Star game. If not, right, he'll be back in the rotation after the All-Star break. But, Nick J says, Cy's been talking a lot about he thinks Durant is coming to the Warriors. He really thinks that they're not going to – what Lacob is putting out there about being tough to sign Wiggins and Poole, that they may end up trading Wiggins and Poole for Durant along with some ones and maybe I just hope they keep Kuminga. You know,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. So let me read this, because this would be my kind of pushback, I guess, is if you go back to June 15th, this is what, because obviously the Lacob quote was, he said it, let's talk Dubs. Joe said he won't lie to the fans. It's going to be tough to sign Wiggs and Poole. He thinks they're saving up money for a huge deal for KD. And, I listened to part of the interview. I didn't get through all of it, but it seemed like he was kind of just saying, look, I mean, it's just tough to go, like, or what are we talking about? Spending $500 million? Like, it's not even, he made it seem like it's not even as much like the financial hit to the Warriors, but more how far above second place in terms of salary can they really go before the league starts to push back and they get in trouble with the league for essentially, doing something that no other team is capable of. And that's interesting. But and then to the KD thing, this was Joe Lacob on June 17th. Okay. There are a couple teams, I'm not going to say who, there's some other teams that went all in on older players. And older players do get injured. That's the thing you have to remember. Suppose we had to make a trade, traded away all our youth for, I don't know, you name the guy, and they're injured, out for the year. Anytime you're over 30, 32, 35, these people get injured. We're always assessing. We wouldn't spend that kind of money on the roster if we didn't think we had a chance to win. When you do think you have a chance to go far and compete for a championship, our belief is we are going to do everything we can, use every last dollar. A lot of teams can't do that or won't do that, I guess. So I think Lacob is very much against trading the youth for, these older dudes. And it's the other thing I kind of took away is, there's nothing coming down from the clouds that says, Joe Lacob, you must re-sign Wiggins and Poole right now.
Right.
There's a chance that they are both the same kind of awesome, or maybe even jump up a level this year. But you know what? I think that if you ask Wiggins or Poole where they'd want to be, they would say Golden State. And so I think you're kind of safe to play out the season. And you know what? Maybe you get some leverage. Maybe Poole has an injury. Maybe Wiggins regresses.
Well, here's another thought, Rye, on that same situation. Dre and Clay are both eligible for extensions, but they're signed for 2 more years, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So they've got this 23, the 22-23 season and the 23-24 season, right? So, and this is the last year of Poole and Wiggins before they're free agents, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you play this out based on the quote. He's talking about players over 32, getting injured, 34. What happens if Draymond has issues with his back, or God forbid Clay gets another injury or something? Hopefully none of those things happen,
or just isn't the same Clay.
Yeah. And if Clay, do you I don't think you give Clay and Draymond their automatic extensions that they're eligible for. I mean, look, you see what Lillard signed for the other day?
Crazy.
$61 million a year.
Yeah.
The Blazers are screwed.
Yeah. They're
because they can't rebuild around that.
No. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I have to think that Draymond is not going to be a guy that we've already seen. His regression is kind of insane, and he can still turn it up for the playoffs. And he's so important to the team.
You can't do it for 82 plus.
If he wants to extend this thing, then it's going to take. He's going to have to renegotiate his contract to where some of those big dollars are maybe spread out over 4 years instead of the next 2. And, so that way we're not, completely screwed in a couple of years, because he cannot be paid a max contract. He can't be paid even close to one, because he has no trade value. He would immediately become the toughest contract in the league to trade, because no team outside of a young rebuilding whatever is going to want him. And the fans would riot if we got rid of him.
If I'm and Bob Myers, I say, look, Clay and Dre, you're Warriors for life. We're going to build a statue with you guys. And you know how much we love you. But we can't extend you at this point. And at the end of the 2 years that's up, we're going to want you back. But, we're going with this youth with Kuminga and Moody and Wiseman and Poole and Wiggins. For us to sign those guys and keep them, we're not going to be able to pay you guys anywhere near what you've been making. And you'll kind of have to, go with vet minimum. I mean, if they want to retire as Warriors, because what is Clay going to be 3 years from now and Draymond 3 years from now when their contracts are up? They've got 2 more years, and then they're going to be in their mid-30s. And I just paying someone in their mid-30s over 30 or 40 million a year.
Yeah, outside of your Steph Currys, you don't do that. And here's the other thing with Clay, it's the injury, all that. It's horrible. It really is horrible. It also sucks for him, but good for the Warriors that, that year, 2019, he got robbed of an All-NBA selection. I think Beal was over him. So that saved the Warriors another like 40, 50 million because he wasn't eligible for the whatever bonus for being All-NBA. But Clay, I think you kind of got to say, look, man, we gave you a max contract after, your injury. We paid you a max contract to not play a single game of basketball. We've for over the last 3 years, you've played half a season, and we did that in good faith, and obviously we want you to be a Warrior for life. But if you want an extension, we're going to have to get creative, and you're not going to get max money, and that money's going to go to Jordan Poole or whatever. But I totally agree with James Foster. They don't have to worry about it next year. They're a championship team running it back. And after next year, he's right. There will be a much clearer picture of how much Thompson and Green mean to the team.
Absolutely.
All of a sudden, they'll have 1 year left on their deals. If they have a bad year, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Also, here's the other thing. How many more years does Draymond even want to play? I mean,
he may not even continue after the 2 years. He may say, depends a lot on if the Warriors win. If the Warriors win one of the next 2, what happens if they win both? The last 2, does he say, hey, I've got 6 titles. I've matched Michael Jordan and I've done a 3-peat and I'm done?
Well, what did he say? He already said that he thinks they're going to win 3 out of the next 4. Which means he, in his mind, is playing 4 more years.
Well, he may also be posturing for a 2-year contract too.
What would make sense though is that you spread that. If let's say we spread let's say we extend Draymond and Clay 2 more years, and at pretty low dollars in terms of the extension, but maybe we spread the money out that they're making now. All of a sudden, it's like they're making whatever it is, 12, 13 million a year over 4 years. And that would line them up perfectly with when Steph's contract runs out. And
the other interesting thing is in this scenario is, do you?
And the Draymond to TNT deal is already inked. So is he going to, maybe that last year, he's more of an Iguodala who doesn't play all year, and then Suit comes in for the playoffs and just his IQ, leadership, and then he does the podcast and all that.
Sure. And you also have Durant, who signed through 2026, just like Steph, right?
Jesus, I didn't realize that, but you're right.
So let's see how this lines up. You say, well, we're not going to re-sign maybe Clay and Draymond, or we're going to sign them to something very, very low, and we're going to kind of ride this Curry-Durant combo duo to see what they can do to the league, with some of the younger guys. See, because I don't think you can have what they have now and still re-sign it. I mean, basically, he's sending a message
The cap,
not going to.
I never know what's good with the cap, but I know that the cap is due to explode when the TV right. I wonder when the TV rights are up, because that's going to be insane.
But I don't think they're going to be able to sign Wiggins and Poole and keep the entire core together. So if the plan is to keep the core together, then they may be letting Poole and Wiggins go, and they may be looking at Durant. I mean, Sy is really thinking. I've read a lot of his tweets, and he really is getting to believe more and more that this thing is leaning toward Durant coming to the Warriors.
Well, in terms of their owner, from all the reports, is over it. He's a super successful businessman, and he basically just got worked over by these guys. And it's one of those things where it's almost like your kid. I don't know. It's like you give them this freedom, but in reality, you're kind of hurting them, because 5 years down the line, they're going to be like, Dad, why'd you let me do that? Why'd you let me be on my iPad all the time? Now I have no attention deficit. That's like what happened with Katie and Kyrie. I think now they're like, I think they probably realize, like, okay, maybe we're not GMs. Maybe we should let everyone do their job. And these are the three outcomes I see. Is something gets worked out with Phoenix because the basketball fit works and Ayton moves and all that. Option 2 is, which I think is the most likely one, is KD and Rich Kleiman get in a room with Joe Tsai and they hash this thing out. Maybe they get rid of Kyrie and they kind of spin it in their heads like, you know what, like F the management, like we're gonna win in spite of them, that kind of thing. Like kind of like the Bulls did in their last year, and together, and so it could be something like that, or because their roster's pretty loaded, or then there's the nuclear Warriors option where we do have the assets to get it done, and it sounds like Kyrie is going to make his way to the Lakers, and if not, then I guess I don't know. Whenever the expansion teams come, but I also looked it up, so we have 3 more seasons before the TV rights are up, and that is going to explode things.
Yeah, that's when does Lillard's $61 million kick in the third year? I think 2 years from now, 2 more seasons, and then the last 2 years are worth 121 or something like 122.
Yes.
So he's gonna get 61 million. The last 2 years of his deal.
Okay. So that makes sense. It runs through the 24-25. So it won't start until the TV deal is up. And what's going to happen is Amazon and Apple and all of those companies are going to put their D's on the table, and they're going to say, we have you guys, Turner, ESPN, you've got FU money. We've got F me money. We can take a loss on this just to establish ourselves in the market, and we can bid something so insane that you won't even know what to do. And if that happens, then the cap goes crazy.
Well, you're looking at a lot of stuff going crazy with the market, and the new media is coming in with all of the streaming. Streaming is where everything's going. I mean, you look at the SEC, what they're doing. They're going to be paying not the SEC, but the
Big Ten. Everyone's going to get
Big Ten. The Big Ten's getting everybody's going to get like $100 million.
$100 million.
They're signing like a $1 billion deal or something, and so that's why SC and UCLA are
UCLA
going.
is along for the ride. They are, because my sister was at UCLA when all this was going down. They signed that $1 billion Under Armour deal and then weaseled their way out of it and fell into so much debt. It's insane. And they're just burning money, and we're going to have to get rid of programs. And you know what? They got much like California is going to get bailed out by, gambling becoming legal and an influx of cash. Mm-hmm. They got completely bailed out. Cal got screwed. All the other UCs got screwed, but they got bailed out. And so, yeah, that makes complete sense.
Oh, the Pac-12's a mess. It looks like there may be nothing left but Cal and Stanford. I mean, they may be. Yeah. I mean, Arizona schools are trying to get into the ACC or even the Big 12. If they'll take the Big 12, probably because football is. I mean, Arizona, the one in Tucson, is going. they're not a big time program. They can't ask for, much more than the Big 12. So they're going to go
graphically close to like Iowa State. And I think the problem is, from what I've heard, is like, we forget about like the academic standards sort of deal, and like Big Ten like thinks of itself as, we have all these schools that they have to be good academically. And that's why I think they could entice someone like Notre Dame. It also is a reason why maybe if they add one more after Notre Dame, it's maybe Stanford or Cal. It's just because of academics and that kind of thing. But with the Big 12, I mean, I think that teams like Cal and Stanford want nothing to do with it just because of the academic standards. But schools like Arizona State, Washington State, Oregon, they might be down. No dissing out there. But I'd almost be more surprised, or I'd be less surprised if Stanford went to the Ivy League than if they went to the Big 12.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but things are moving very, very fast there. So, but we get back to that thing with the Warriors. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think Lacob's getting a lot of crap from other owners, maybe even,
billionaires have egos. There's no doubt. And the fact that he is just like talking so much but then also backing it up it must just be the most frustrating thing.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank. Adam Silver. Okay, there we go. The commissioner. I mean, maybe he's saying, hey, look, what you're doing is legal, but it's not good for the league that you can outspend teams by $200 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that you can pay $350 million and everyone else is down at 160, so yeah, but the Warriors did it through the draft. And I personally don't think guys you draft should be held against you in a cap. And I don't think you should be penalized.
That's the thing, is like, I don't know when the next like NBA lockout thingy comes. I wouldn't be surprised if it's sometime before the new deal, trying to gain some leverage. I think that it would be a wise decision to argue for, something like, if you draft a player, you get to take one of your players that you drafted, you get to just wipe their contract from the books.
Yeah, something like that, because you're getting penalized for developing and making good decisions in your draft picks.
Also, teams like teams that like Milwaukee with Giannis, of course, is maybe that's not the best example, but maybe let's say Luka Doncic in 3 years they still haven't quite figured it out and he's playing at an MVP level. And it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe I dart for a bigger market where I'm going to have more resources. But if they are just allowed to, because they hit on that draft pick, if they're allowed to take his contract off the books, then all of a sudden they can make that a competitive team super easily. So,
right. I mean, and imagine if you're not paying these luxury tax penalties because the guys that you drafted aren't counting against you. So what that's going to do is make guys keep more of their guys, draft better, develop them, and then you have a nucleus of a team. I mean, you look what we've had here in the Bay Area. We got Steph in 2009, I believe, draft. And then you got Clay 2 years after that. And then Draymond in 12.
And Barnes.
And Barnes and all these different guys. And those three guys have stayed. Luke in a Golden State confirmed.
That's awesome.
But I mean, those three guys that you drafted, you shouldn't be penalized where they have to retire somewhere else because
it's tough. Look, I mean, and here's another one is like maybe like somebody said Nick J said, or maybe like a draft player only counts as 25 to 30% of the cap. Well, with the way the salary's structured, you have a rookie, maybe you have your guy that's a rookie, you have your Paolo Banchero. And it's like, yeah, I mean, you can use that, but, it's not going to be taking that much money off your books. But, as these guys are longer and longer tenured with the team, that's where it gets difficult because we have guys like Draymond and Clay that if they're going to get paid, they're going to get paid an absurd amount because they've stayed on the Warriors for so long. So
yeah, I mean, I just don't like the way the league does that in even all the other sports too, because I grew up in an era before free agent really even was going, and it was Curt Flood in baseball that got free agent going, but you knew Willie Mays was going to be on your team every year. I mean, they ended up trading him because they were poor and the owner didn't have any money and he couldn't afford to pay Mays $100,000. So he had to basically give him away for money and a player to the Mets. But today it's different. People have the resources, but you should be attached to these guys, and they shouldn't have to, go to another team. Like, I mean, if I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, I'm like a little irritated that team had to get broken up. Michael Jordan retires as a Washington Wizard. I mean, gosh,
there's a lot of weird ones like that out there. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, Joe Montana and Steve Young, that was a little different because it was like, you got two Hall of Fame quarterbacks and only one can play. And, I think the Niners made the right decision in going with Young. He was the younger, more athletic player at the time, and Joe was aging. But, it's a little different when teams are forced to do it because of a salary cap stuff. And I just think all sports in general should be that there are loopholes in the collective bargaining agreements that allow for, if you drafted the player and he stays with you, then he does not count 100% against the cap, because you want to incentivize teams to keep their homegrown players. Fans get attached to them. For example, I mean, the whole thing over Steph and KD, everybody loves Steph more. We all loved KD when he was with the Warriors, but he wasn't drafted by the Warriors, and so you knew that it was Steph's team, right? Same thing with Klay. I mean, if Klay Thompson came to us, in his fourth year, and then all of a sudden he's become this great player, it's like, but Klay, man, he came to us out of Washington State. He was just kind of like a young, kind of goofy, kid, a little bit awkward at first, just kind of.
He wasn't playing defense either.
Yeah, and he develops and he becomes this folk hero. He's like, and if we had to get rid of him because of salary purposes, not because of performance, that stinks.
Well, think about it, even for like OKC. Like, do you think Durant would have left if they for sure could have had, his contract off the books and they could have brought in whoever? I mean, then he can go to Golden State, but you go to Golden State, that your contract's on the books. The other thing is, Nick Shade, the NFL has the fairest cap. There's still loopholes. It'd be interesting if there was something like, and maybe there are things I know kind of like this, but it'd be interesting, like the franchise tag, where they give you like the whatever it is, median salary for that position as a starter. It'd be interesting. I mean, that would be a great thing if we could, use the salary, and it doesn't count against the cap. It'd be great if we could use that on like Klay or Draymond. And
that's a rule that I don't like. Is hold on one second. My wife has to walk by and cover the camera. Go ahead.
I was also going to say, like, I mean, there's some really bad ones. Nick J said Shaq's a Celtics, just weird. Here's a really weird one. Tony Parker as a Charlotte Hornet. Does anybody even remember that? Like, what the heck? That was just 1 year in Charlotte, and then he retired.
Yeah. Another thing. That, I don't like if I was a player.
1895 brings up a great point. OKC is a small market, and in a sport where it's primarily black players, it's a lot of white people. And I know that, like, for example, like when Obama, I think there was something out there, this came out in like the KD stuff, like when Obama won in like 2012 or something like that, like they booed or whenever it was something like that. So that's not great. But think about the fact they had to get rid of Harden For salary purposes.
Right.
They should have been rewarded for all those draft picks. If they could have had Grant's contract off the books, they could have kept Westbrook, Harden, they could have kept Ibaka, bring free agents. That's awesome. That would be a great.
You should incentivize people for the draft. The other thing I don't like about the NFL, gosh, my mind with the
NFL cap,
the franchise tag. I don't like it because it forces a player from not being able to get a multi-year deal. So if he gets hurt that year, he's franchised and his career is derailed because of injury. So to me, the NFL needs to do something with that. They either need to get rid of the rule or they need to buy a Lloyd's of London policy that if that guy is hurt, it guarantees him 50 million or 100 million. Because, I mean, why would you sign if you're a franchise deal where you're locked in? You want to go test the market and you can't because you've got this franchise tag. And so they franchise tag you and you get just 1 year deal. That is an NFL player. No way I'm signing a franchise deal that I get 1 year, and if I blow out my knee and I'm never the same, which is pretty high risk in that league, and you're never the same, you now have just blown your chance of getting millions. To me, it's not free agency. The whole thing of free agency is you're free. You're free to go, and a rule prevents you from protecting your livelihood. It makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah. I mean, then I'm not entirely, read up on it, but I know obviously like the Kirk Cousins situation is famous where, they franchise tagged him like 4 or 5 times in a row. And what happened is that the money kept going up. I don't know if that's like, if you re-franchise tag someone, it goes up, but
yeah, it goes up and up.
Ridiculous amount of money. And so, I mean, I guess you could say like for a guy like Chris Godwin, who was franchise tagged last year and, he made good money for that year. Obviously he'd want a longer contract, but now he does have leverage because if you want to franchise tag him, you're going to have to overpay him quite a bit. So, but I think they actually did end up just locking him up despite the injury. But
we're going to have to create that for baseball. We're going to have to create that as a new call, huh? The Flores homer. That was pretty fun.
Oh, that was great.
That was a lot of fun because when he first hit it, I thought that's got a shot. Then all of a sudden, I thought, oh, it's going to die at the track, And I was watching the outfielder, and he kind of looking up, and he was kind of like going to the wall. And I thought, oh, it's got a shot because it wasn't like you knew it was gone right off the bat, like some, I've seen. So it was but it carried for some reason. That one carried today.
Yeah. I know. We've been saying because I think the bat, what do you call it? Bat velo or whatever. It was like, or no, exit velocity was like 98 miles per hour.
Okay. Yeah. It didn't look like it was hit like rocketed.
98 miles per hour is exactly the same as Villar's hit the other day. That
really okay. But when you see 107, 108, 112 shot, you know it's gone.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You could see it. I mean, that one was like, I thought,
we got some inside info. My cousin is the AD at UW. She went to SDSU. Something brewing. Hey, the SDSU's on the short list of teams that you bring into the Pac-12 for sure, especially if you just want to say, screw it. That
was one of the teams we talked about last week. Remember when we said we kind of picked, San Diego State. Who else did we pick?
Like San Diego State, Fresno State, Gonzaga, if you want to go basketball.
Maybe even UNLV you could get in there for basketball.
I mean, if they want to do just a basketball thing and then just a football thing, I think that's possible.
Could. That's what the Big East did for years. They had that great basketball conference, and then they weren't that good in football.
Yeah, exactly. Because then in that case, who knows? Maybe you put St. Mary's in there. I don't know.
Big East doesn't even exist anymore, do they?
Yeah, it still exists, but it's
Does it?
it's a weird group of teams now.
A weird group, yeah, because UConn was always in that. Now they're part of the American Conference for
Champions.
whatever. I think they're in with Cincinnati now or something like whatever that conference was. But yeah, the conference thing is really strange. I mean,
it's listen to these. This is so. UConn is still in the Big East in football, actually.
Football, they are. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is interesting just because, I mean, they kind of just said, screw it. Let's just bet on basketball. So they brought in Butler. They had UConn. They brought in Creighton, DePaul, Georgetown, brought in Marquette. Providence has always been in there. St. John's, Seton Hall, Villanova, Xavier. So, I mean, it's an interesting. It's kind of a cool thing, I guess. But they used to have Louisville, used to have Rutgers. Rutgers, by the way, if we're talking about riding coattails, how the hell does Rutgers deserve to get $100 million for their?
Are they getting it? Are they in the
Big Ten?
They're in the Big Ten. Oh my!
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely insane that they clutched that. It's them, and then I guess you could maybe say Northwestern, but at least they hold up their side of the deal academically. But yeah, Rutgers is just weird, man. I mean, they're New Jersey.
I know, New Jersey, exactly.
Their football and basketball. I mean, they're mid.
New Jersey. That's what a state that is, man.
That's from my dad.
That's just like it's like a rough blue collar state. The Giants were the Giants there when they played in the Meadowlands. That was like they still do, right? They still play. Do they still play in the Meadowlands or?
Yeah. Oh wait, no. Wait.
Where do they built a new stadium though, right? Not the old Meadowlands. Where are they playing now?
Where do the? I know they play in Jersey. They play at MetLife.
It's still right there in the Meadowlands. They're still there. I've been to that stadium. Yeah.
Pud Fatty brings up it should be Big 20 now. Yeah. What's up with some of the conferences just staying with their original name, even though it doesn't make any sense, and then some change, like Pac-12 went Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12. Big 10.
Big 10's been the Big 10 for years, and they got like 14 teams.
Yeah, they got like 14 teams. So.
Yeah, I don't know. At least the Pac-10. They used to be the Pac-8. You remember that? That was before the Arizona schools in Utah and Colorado. So they added the 4, and then they changed it. Went from the Pac-8 to the Pac-10, and then they changed it to the Pac-12. I mean, the Big 12 was like 8 teams.
Yeah,
for a while, and the Big 10 is 14 teams, but they still kept the name the Big 10. I don't know.
I heard Colin Cowherd. He threw this proposal out there as he's ought to do, and I was like, "Damn, that would be." It would suck for the other teams, but man, would that be cool? He was talking about like the idea of you bring in Notre Dame and one more team, whether it's Stanford or Cal or Oregon. And then you have the same number of teams in the Big Ten and the SEC, the 2 power expansion conferences. And he's like, what if, you did a thing where every year you had to, however the schedule worked out, you got matched up with, teams from the other conference, and you had to play every year, like interdivisional almost. And then that way it's like, everyone kind of plays everyone a little bit, and both conferences get to test their mettle versus each other. And then, at the end of it, then, you have some playoff between those two. Or actually, as I'm saying it, I know I'm botching it, but it was interesting at least, because you just, because he brought up the fact that, the thing about college football is unless you're super hard into it or a gambler, usually there's 1 or 2 games a week that are flashy that you really want to see. And, for the most part, it's, Alabama or whatever playing some crap team. And that would just, if we all of a sudden could have, 10 games on the weekend that were like big matchups, Ole Miss versus Notre Dame and Michigan versus Texas A&M. And like, that would be awesome. That would be great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it would be, It's going to be crazy what happens over the next year or two when this thing. I don't know how it's going to settle, but it's definitely shifted a seismic shift of this whole conference thing. It's getting crazy. I mean, that was a shocker to me, to be honest. UCLA and USC just like boom, they're gone. They're going to the Big Ten. I mean, of all places. I mean, that was so much history. The Pac-8, the Pac-10, the Pac-12 before the playoffs. It was always whether it was going to be SC against Ohio State or Michigan in the Rose Bowl or who made the Rose Bowl. It was always those two conferences, and it was called the granddaddy of them all. And now it's like whatever. It's
pretty much a guarantee to be, Oregon every year or Utah. Well, what is your intel? Have you got any intel on Kyle's situation?
I'd have to talk to my brother on it and see what's going on. I have no, I'll see him tomorrow actually.
Yeah, so. From what I've heard, I mean, it's the UC's pretty much in California. Like they've just been burning money because, they weren't able to get the attendance numbers or money for the, past couple of years because of COVID, and they were canceling games and down programs, and just a shame.
I'll have to get some Yogurt Shack certificates here for you. So I know you live over by the one in Lafayette, right?
Oh, yeah. It's elite.
Yeah. Hold on here. Let me cover up the camera. This hotel here is it's like the bathroom's right behind me. So
okay. Here, you know what I'll do here, Dan? I'm gonna run through our ads because I completely forgot about them, like usual. And then come back with, our final thoughts. And I don't know if we get sparked to talk about anything. Chat, let us know what you want us to talk about. All right, here we go.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, TELMETRIX.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Dan Coccimilgio and all the people at Secure Money for being proud sponsors of the Krueg Show. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com, often imitated, never equaled. And they are a proud sponsor of the Krueg Show. Thanks to them as well.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner with that sausage It's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
All right. Great. As always, Pasquale.
The Pasquale, man.
Speaks is asking what year that photo is from on the Telmetrics ad.
I have no idea. Oh, man.
It's funny to see Larry, you know, he recorded all those ads just with that, you know, the little chin strap. And he just every time hasn't had it since. Oh, gosh.
Well, what do you think? Did we got anybody? We probably should. What year is that photo of Dan? Yeah, Clarence B. Yeah, that's an old photo too. Thing is off my business card. Gosh, that must be over 10 years old.
Yeah.
On my
you still look the same. Also, cleaning this up, Mark Graves brings this up. This is right. Getting franchise tag gets you paid as a top 5 player at that position.
Yeah, you do, but it's not I still wouldn't want to be franchise tagged just because
it would be sweet. Like if the Warriors had that and they could franchise tag, Clay, pay him as a top 5 shooting guard, which theoretically, if he's healthy at his absolute best, he is, but eliminate some of the downside for sure.
Right. So what do you got for final thoughts, Rye? You got any?
Final thought is just, I want to hear from the chat, and just also, I guess we can marinate on it. I thought the draft was really fun, and I think that
I love that.
Maybe I'm not the biggest college football guy. I think maybe it'd be fun to do a college football thing just so we have teams we can root for, and then maybe I don't know. Like I was saying, quarterbacks would be great. That's another really fun one because just having takes on quarterbacks is awesome. And then I don't know. I mean, other than that, I'm not sure what. I can't really think of anything else unless, we, of course, maybe we want to do the same thing, before the NBA season where we pick teams and then we draft teams and then we draft players or something and do like a blend of PER and whatever VORP or whatever the heck. Yeah, quarterbacks facepalm Godzilla says the quarterback one I like. I really love the quarterback one. I just don't know. I'm not entirely sure about the methodology, but I think that QBR has to be one of them. I think that as much as sometimes we can disagree with Pro Football Focus, I think that should be part of it. And then I don't know, maybe we save 10% or something for wins, and I don't know. But I think that will be really fun because I love getting into quarterback arguments.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be good. I like the draft. I like having fun like that. But my final thoughts on the Giants is this. Tomorrow they've got Alex Wood going against Mackenzie Gore, the young rookie, who's a pretty good pitcher. But Giants still need to do some drastic measures, I think. And I don't know what those are. I don't know what they're willing to do. But if they can hang in this race before the break, they're going to have to make some moves. And like I say, I don't know what that looks like, but for the time being, this is what I want to see. I want to see Luis Gonzalez when he's ready to play the field. Definitely let him DH if he's not ready to play every day out in the field. But once he's ready to go, I want him in the outfield. I want Slater in center, Jock in left, Luis Gonzalez in right. Ideally, sounds like Belt is going to be okay. Play Belt when it's and second base, play Tyro. Short, Crawford, third, VR. catcher Bart as much as possible. Let's play Flores as the DH or at second when Tyro needs a break. And I like Flores in that lineup. I like Ruff as your pinch hitting specialist. I'm glad they didn't put him in left field the other night. They actually put Mercedes out there more. So I just want to see guys. I want the best defense out there. And, best defense is probably having Yaz out there somewhere and DHing Peterson, I guess. But Yaz just isn't hitting at all right now. And I don't know how long you experiment with that. I mean, I like Yaz as a player. I mean, he's a ball player. He's kind of that old school, tough guy, gets out there and he'll throw his body out there for you, run into a wall for you. But his bat is just it's been really rough. So
yeah.
So
916 49er says, I'm enjoying the show at the Jack in the Box drive-through. Dan and Ryan, you want something? I love Jack in the Box. Growing up, we used to go there after middle school. We had one in Moraga really close. We used to call it 5-star because to us and our 11-year-old, 12-year-old taste buds, it was tasted like 5-star cuisine. The spicy chicken sandwiches, the munchie meals, all great stuff. Here, Dan, how about this as a final thing to throw it out there for me? Okay. So I would say the top 2 games this year were, in terms of excitement and just sort of like harrowing performances, I would say that this one and then the Jock game versus Milwaukee were my 2 favorite games this year. And I feel like if this game doesn't get this team motivated and on the right side of things, I think we trade. I think we're sellers at the deadline. If we just continue to stumble our way to the All-Star break, I think that it's time to sell. So
that's what I say. Yeah, I agree.
With that in mind, we keep saying, they got to win. Maybe they go on a streak. I am saying this is the make or break stretch for them right now. I am including, to be nice, because it was such a great game, I'm including today's game as one of them. So we're starting off 1-0. Then we have 8 games until the All-Star break. 1 versus San Diego, 3 versus Arizona, 4 versus Milwaukee.
Right.
If we can go, including today's, 1 win, so it's 9 games. So if we can finish 6-3 or above, I believe in this team, and I don't want to sell away our assets.
I'm in agreement
of that, especially when we're including the 1-game boost that we're giving them.
Right. Yeah, we got a one game boost. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's I'm sorry. It's moving on to 49ers, and we're just we're watching for fun laughs at that point. So
yeah. No, I agree. I was it was funny because Jack in the Box, and it said 916 49er. They've got a big Jack in the Box out there in right field at Petco, and I took a shot of it today, and I can't find it.
Really? Wait, they have a Jack in the Box restaurant at Petco.
No, I don't know if it's a restaurant. They just got the Jack in the Box, Jack's out there. Big head. His big head's out there.
His big bobblehead.
Yeah, and I zoomed in on it, but I took so many videos of just the stadium and everything. I can't remember which one it was. So I was trying to find it before we signed off, but I'll have to probably be another day before I actually see it. So, but we could show it. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Rye. I totally agree with you. If they can go 6-3,
let's just say 6-3, including. So really, it's 5-3. But we're including this one, so we're giving them a break. Go 6-3 over their 9 games, and then after that gives us something exciting to root for, because all of a sudden, even though it's extremely arbitrary, and we just came up with this, it'll be fun. If they lose to the Padres tomorrow, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know. They got to win 5 out of their next 7. I don't know. Do you think they can do it? So, yeah.
I mean, they got 3 against Arizona at home and 4. I mean, 7 of the next 8 are at home. So,
come on.
They should be able to do it. Rodon should have does he just have one more start? It looks like he would, right? He might. Let's see. They've got 8 left. Yeah, he probably won't pitch until there's like 4 left.
We'll get 2 Webb starts.
Yeah, 2 Webb starts,
2
1
Webbs,
Rodon.
1 Rodon. We have to win 2 out of 3 of those.
Hey, Alex Pavlovich of he tweeted out a little earlier that Rodon was most likely going to be named to the All-Star game, and today's performance
for sure.
Solidifies that as probably a guarantee. So that means
it would have been really fun just as like this is a sorry franchise thing to root for, but like if we were really in the tank and like maybe Rodon had 1 more game on his resume like this, then like we could be making the argument that he should maybe start the All-Star game, and how fun it would be to have a Giant starting in the LA.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I mean, I'll tell you what though, if the Giants are not in this thing near the end of July, and it looks like they're 3, 4, 5 back of the 3rd wild card, and they've got 2 or 3 teams ahead of them they got to climb over, I'm trading Rodon. I hate to say it, but I'm trading Rodon, and I'm getting a haul. I'm trading him to whether it be the Yankees or the Braves or whoever, the Mets. Whoever wants that another star pitcher to put them over the top, I'm getting some of their top prospects, and I'm building this thing, and I'm making because I don't want to have him not make the playoffs, the Giants not make the playoffs, and him walk.
Yeah, it's also he doesn't deserve it. He's been too good this year. He thought he was joining up with a 100-win team, and it's anything but that. So I mean, and again, what we're asking the Giants to be is 47-44 by the break. That's what that would put them at. Only 3 games above 500. Is that too much to ask, Giants? Come on, please. 3 games above 500.
Yeah. What is this?
Virginia Gansky, what are we doing?
Hope Rodon goes to the Padres. I made the point today. The Giants play the Padres the last 3 in San Diego to end the season. I said, watch him pick up Jake McGee, and McGee, gets the final out, and the Giants get knocked out of the playoffs of the last game of the season. That would be brutal. What's this? A guy called Ed says, Dan, there's a Giants fan that lives in the apartment near the stadium. Does they still light it up?
Like, can you still see the lights in the apartment behind right field if you're looking?
I can't remember.
I remember those apartments were like got built and they went on sale, and I was trying to get my dad to. I was like, oh, that'd be so sick, and he was like, yeah, but you guys would never see me. But man, that would be pretty cool. It's like a Wrigley situation.
I wonder if I had some shots of last night's game out there in right field. I mean, I might have. I was just. It was pretty fascinating. Let's see. I'm looking here at the stadium. Oh, there we are. Let me see. I'll pull it back. This is after the last out last night. You can see right field. It'll come up there. You could see some apartments there.
Yeah, we're gonna need to break this down like this is a Bruder film if we're gonna get.
It's kind of so. But anyway, so we'll be back on tomorrow around 4:30.
Yeah, 4:30. Yeah.
So hopefully the Giants get another win and get the split that they so badly need. If they, keeps them within striking distance. Did St. Louis lose today? I think they did. I think the Phillies beat St. Louis.
Yeah, they lost 1-0.
Yeah, so the Giants are like only a game behind St. Louis now for that.
I saw something that was like disturbing though, and maybe I'm sleeping on them a little bit because they are putting together a nice ball club. But the Orioles are as close to the wild card coming into today. The Orioles were as close to the wild card in the AL as we are in the NL.
Yeah, no, they've been playing good, and Miami's right behind us now, only 2 games back. So we have to climb over 2 teams. We're 3 games behind Philadelphia. Need to climb over St. Louis and the Phillies to get that wild card spot. And tomorrow's a big game because with the Padres, right now we're 5.5 back. We either end up 4.5 back or 6.5 back. And if they lose tomorrow to the Padres, you could forget probably catching them.
Man, the Cardinals are 2-8 in their last 10. I didn't realize.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully the Giants, I can't get a read on them because prior to this last 3 weeks where they've been, horrible, they were like top 5 in the league in scoring runs.
It felt like closer to last year than it did 2019 or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, this is feeling like 2017, really, this club, 2018, the way they, don't hit. I mean, 2017 was bad because they didn't have anything. I mean, Mad Bum was their best pitcher, but I think that was the year he got hurt too with the shoulder.
Also, you can always say like, oh, well, you know what, they'll go on a run at some point. Every team has their runs. They already kind of had 2 runs this year. And I just hope that it wasn't this deceiving thing where it just so happened to happen at the beginning of the year as opposed to towards the end of the year. Because they had a couple 8-game winning streaks or 6-game winning streaks.
Yeah. What do they have? 80 games left, right?
Yeah.
42 and 41.
Yeah.
So they have 80 games left. I just want to see what they do. If 80 games left, they need to times
they could still win
60%. So if they really need to play, if they play 600 ball, that would put them at 90 wins. They'd win 48 of that, and that's what I think they're going to have to do.
I mean, you can just think of it this way: if they can just go 500 versus the good teams and 700 versus the bad teams, then we're probably fine.
So if they go 48 and 32, which is 600 ball, they will end up 90 and 72. That'll get them in. That's pretty much what they need to do. So we need to win 6 out of every 10. So when you look at the last 10, you want to see them 6 and 4, consistently, or a few 8 and 2s where you get an 8 and 2, then you can afford a 4 and 6 week.
Exactly.
But they need to average 6 wins out of every 10 games. So what that means is you want to start winning every series now. You want to win 2 out of 3.
Got to start winning series, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the good news is even if they aren't who we hope they are, likely just because of the expanded wild card, we'll be watching at least, a wild card adjacent,
Right. Here's my gig for them. Today's what? July. Is today the 9th?
Today's the 9th.
Okay. So trade deadline's August 2nd. So I'm going to look at my calendar here, and that is July 9th. So the trade deadline is on a Tuesday.
How about we say this? So we just came up with the need to go 6 and 3 before the break for us to believe in them. Let's tease tomorrow after the show, especially if we know the result. We're going to know the result of tomorrow's game. Let's tease this till tomorrow, and then let's come up with a number that you want to see them win, minimum by the trade deadline to maintain,
I'll have that in my head, because what I'm going to wish for over the next 23 days or so before the trade deadline, and I'm imagining there's 21 games or so in there, I'm going to wish for that they win the majority of them. Now, hear me out, fans. I'm going to wish that they win the majority of them and put themselves in a position to really make a playoff run. But if they're going to not do that, I'm going to wish that they start to tank, because I want to get some really good value for some trades.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't want to see this 500 ball over the next 3 weeks.
What you're saying is I want them to get hot, or I want them to flame out. No more 2022 flaccid Giants baseball. That's
exactly. That's what I'm on, because it could be pretty exciting to see some deals and get a couple of guys that that would be ready to play maybe next year, that are top AAA, top
for sure,
top prospects of an organization. I want, Rodon gets dealt. I want your number one prospect.
Maybe more. Maybe 1 and 2.
Yeah. I want something like that. Yeah.
All right.
All right,
play
cool.
out the Monster Slam.
He's going to drive to the hoop again. He kicks it out to Wiggins. Wiggins drives, goes in for a monster slam.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah, we ain't never fall back. Hold our ground where we at.